For 10,000 years, humanity thought the abyss was a myth. They thought the monsters pouring out of the gates were the ultimate threat. But they had no idea that I was on the other side, hunting those monsters for sport. My name is Kang-woo. The system thought it could seal me in hell forever. But today, the seal breaks, and Earth is about to realize that the true final boss just came home. Let's go back to the day the countdown hit 0. Two shapes collide in the dark, impact ringing out before the smoke even clears. This is the 9 hells, and the deepest pit inside it, the 9th hell, is where only the strongest demons in existence come to fight it out. One endless brawl decides who actually ranks number 1 down here. Something down in that fire is about to prove exactly how strong it is. A demon built like a mountain, banded black and gold, drives a two-handed slam into a black-winged fighter. He answers with a point-blank burst of red energy into its chest, then gets flung backward through the air regardless. The clash detonates behind him, hurling rubble into the sky as the ground splits open. The fighter hauls himself up out of the smoke, unbothered, and it's almost insulting. How disappointing. He had great expectations hearing all those rumors about the 9th hell. But these punches are just ticklish. That's when Garkas, one of the great demons, rears up and throws a punch that cracks the air. A second one steps in behind him. Balak, another great demon, unimpressed. You sure talk big. Who did you say talks big? The fighter throws himself right back into it, and the two great demons answer together, fists cracking through the smoke in rapid bursts. Impact after impact rocks the battlefield, and by the end of it he's caught square in a wall of fire, red light tearing off him as he's driven back. He's thrown clear through another blast, tumbling before he catches himself in the air. Wings spread, he snaps back into the fight and slams straight into one of the demons again, trading blow for blow. The exchange builds until it detonates into one massive burst of fire and light, swallowing the whole frame. Golden lightning rakes across Garkas while the fighter winds up a fist wrapped in solid red energy. He drives it home and the whole page goes white with the explosion, something falling limp through the haze after. Then a sword is suddenly in his hand and it connects. Garkas reels back with a stunned what, while Balak snarls petty tricks. Balak and Garkas come at him together now, no more holding back, wings tucked and fists first. One of them opens its jaws in a roar that seems to shake the panel itself, and for a second the fighter's own reaction is just wide-eyed alarm. Then he unloads everything he's got straight down, a wave of green energy detonating into a forest of fire that swallows the frame whole. Smoke clears on a stun as the horned demon looms through it, but the fighter's already moving, twin fireballs cocked and ready in his hands. Enough fooling around, he says, and here's where it gets stupid, the good kind. He rips loose a diagonal blast of energy and it lands clean, the last panel erupting in fire around a scream of pain. Garkas comes in roaring, teeth bared, and the fighter meets him dead center, red energy detonating point blank. The blast throws both great demons back. He climbs out of his own explosion still burning and gives them his answer straight. The strongest demon in the 9th hell is him. The fight ends and he flies off into the dark. Time skips forward, through endless fighting where no one was ever supposed to sit on an eternal throne, until he showed up and proved that assumption wrong. Silence falls over a corridor lined with bones, leading straight to a throne carved out of a demon's skull. He sits on it. He's not just the strongest fighter anymore. He's the demon king now, the undisputed apex of every demon in hell. His subordinate begs to know why their king would ever want to leave. He already owns everything in hell. But look how he got here. His power, gluttony, doesn't just kill a demon, it consumes the body and absorbs every ounce of strength inside. That's how he ground down all 7 princes of hell, each too monstrous to kill the others, until only he remained. He turns furious, looking ready to eat the demon in front of him alive. 10,000 years, he says, stuck in this exact same hellscape. Same view, same endless slaughter day after day. Owning everything in hell doesn't mean much when there's nothing left worth having. He has a name, Kang-woo, the Demon King. A subordinate tries to feed his hunger and drags in the severed head of Fulalak, the last major demon prince left standing, calling it a feast fit for royalty. Kang-woo draws his sword instead. He doesn't want to eat something that ugly. What he actually wants is something else entirely. Turns out what he wants is Kimchi Jade Jiggy, and the castle completely loses it trying to figure out what that even means. Word rockets down the corridor faster than any demon army ever moved. 2 demons end up brawling over a covered plate of raw meat and blood, convinced that's the answer. It is very much not. A demon offers to carve up invaders instead, but Kang-woo just sighs. None of them get it. Demons don't understand meals, only feasting after a kill. Another needles him for being bored now that the 7 princes are dead. His real answer floors the room. He just wants to read novels and manhwa. A servant drops to his knees, begging forgiveness for being too weak to satisfy his king. Balak drops to his knees, begging Kang-woo to kill him for the poor performance, but the demon king's not even listening. His mind's on one thing, somebody to love after 10,000 years on this throne. Then out of the dark, someone answers that wish. Lilith, queen of succubi, the most beautiful woman in hell, steps out and greets him by title. Lilith asks if he's not satisfied with her heart, purring that she'll spend the night with him. Kang-woo just stares back, unimpressed. He cuts loose a burst of raw power, and the whole demon horde piles on, mocking her for calling herself Hell's Queen, screaming at the succubi to drop the pretty face and get out. Compared to Lilith, even Balak looked cute, they admit. Yeah, looks aren't everything in love, but this is too much. Fed up with the whole disaster, Kang-woo snaps Earth. He has to get back to Earth. His demons panic, but inside his head the resolve only hardens. 10,000 years of waiting, and nothing is shaking it now. With the last of the 7 princes' ball consumed and absorbed, every piece is finally in place. It's time. 10,000 grueling years in hell are about to pay off. Kang-woo turns to Balak with one order: prepare the thing. Whatever it is, it's the reason for everything he just survived. Prepare the thing, Kang-woo repeats. Balak hesitates, and Kang-woo's patience runs out. Are you going to make me say it twice? Balak yelps, terrified, and scrambles to obey. 10,000 years running hell, and the Demon King still gets what he wants by just asking twice. Kang-woo gives the real order: call in Ammon and prepare the armors of the 7 princes of hell. His demons snap to it, and out of the dark comes the one he actually needs for this, a hooded sorcerer wielding a staff crackling with dread magic. Ammon, the black sorcerer, reports the preparations complete. Good, Kang-woo says, but Ammon isn't finished. He warns that pumping this much mana into the armors of the 7 princes of hell could twist time and space itself, tearing a crack straight through the dimension. Remember this, because that crack is the whole plan. All right, Kang-woo says, let's begin. Finally, I can go home. Here's where it gets stupid, the good kind. Power tears loose from him in a purple flood, the myriad demon palace ripping open around him. 10,000 years of grinding through hell, and it all comes down to this one rift. The gate above Kang-woo's throne blasts wide open, and a column of raw demonic power tears straight up through the castle. Demons across hell go quiet, staring up at the myriad demon palace answering his call. It's magnificent just to look at, one of them murmurs. 10,000 years of waiting, and it's finally moving. A massive horned face fills the sky as the cry goes up. All 7 armors have reacted. Kang-woo stands swallowed in the light, and just for a second the swagger drops. Even if I return, he starts. I won't have, and the sentence just stops, unfinished, hanging over everything that comes next. He finishes the thought: no family, no lover, not even a friend waiting back home, but anywhere beats this damned empty place. Fine, he says, so he's going. Lilith breaks down sobbing at the news, and a horned demon leans in to needle her. Are you really being left behind? Lilith drops to her knees, begging to come with him. Kang-woo's answer is one word, and his hand cracks across her before she can finish. She's flung back, still screaming she'll follow him no matter what. He doesn't even look back. It was not nice meeting you, he says, walking away. Let's never meet again, he tells her, and steps into the teleport circle alone. 10,000 years down here, he thinks. No past worth keeping, no future he's chasing, just the one Earth he remembers. The circle fires. I'm really going back, he breathes, finally. Then an alarm cuts him off. Nuclear crack detected. Here's where it gets stupid, the good kind. A dimensional defense called the Gaia system slams online, and every demon in hell freaks out, no clue what's happening. Warnings stack on warnings. The crack's power has blown past capacity. Defenses are failing across every dimension. The system overloads and spits out one line: default measure initiated. The Gaia system's answer is a limiting seal, and it slams into Kang-woo like a hammer. He screams, fighting it, snarling, that's enough, you damn. But the light beats him down until he blacks out. When he opens his eyes again, it's sunlight, green trees, quiet. Is this Earth, he wonders. First things first, check the body. Kang-woo pulls up his status window, and the math just changed hard. Level 1, first awakening only, his gluttony ability locked away until level 10, stats barely double digits. His powers have been sealed. Before it sinks in, monsters burst from the tree line, and he swears there weren't any centipedes like this on the Earth he knew. Kang-woo blinks awake, and the status window that follows him everywhere flickers back on, except it's wrong. Level 1, First Awakening. Stats a fraction of what they used to be. He barely gets out. My powers have been sealed before goblins burst out of the tree line. He's never seen creatures like this on the earth he remembers. He decides to end this fast. Something about this place feels off. Demonic energy barely registers here. He clenches a fist and pulls up muscle memory from hell. Grand Duke Ixio's power of the blade, one of the countless powers he devoured on his way to the throne. One swing and the goblins go down. The system starts talking to him again. Goblin defeated, experience gained, level 4. He stares down at the pile of corpses around him, stats climbing with every kill like some rookie hunter's first dungeon. It's not just numbers on a screen, he can feel his own body getting stronger in real time. Time to get answers. He raises gluttony, the power that lets him swallow a demon and take their strength whole, and tries to scan this place. Nothing, no biology data, no record of this world at all. Then his demonic energy stat ticks up a point, a resource that shouldn't exist outside hell. That single number means this might not be Earth. He drops to his knees. No way, there's no way. The only reason he survived hell all that time was one hope, getting back to Earth someday. Then a scream cuts through the trees, and it doesn't sound like a monster or a demon, it's human. After 10,000 years down there, that word alone sends him tearing off through the forest, borrowed power crackling, Ivilfer's power of speed. 10,000 years and the only faces he's seen have had tentacles or a dozen extra arms bolted on. He doesn't care what this person looks like anymore, ugly, scarred, anything, as long as they're human. Please, he begs mid-sprint, no tentacles. He spots them through the trees, 2 eyes, 1 nose, and no tentacles. He nearly loses it from relief and sprints in, laughing. Then the scene turns hard. A beast is already on top of her, claws raking across her face, blood flying. She barely gets a sound out before Kang-woo slams into it, and it's the monster's turn to scream. He drops the monster and the forest goes quiet. The woman, purple-haired, surrounded by white flowers, looks up at him and manages a shaky thank you. She reaches out to take his hand, and the second their skin touches, Kang-woo's face twists in agony. He screams like he's been hit by something far worse than any monster. Ciala, the purple-haired hunter he just saved, catches her breath and gives her name. She notices something on the hand still gripping his sword, and her face changes. Pain lances through Kang-woo out of nowhere, and before he can stop himself, he blurts out, "Marry me." Ciala freezes. What? He catches himself instantly. Sorry, he saw her tattoo, got carried away, and formally introduces himself, "Oh, Kang-woo." He confirms her name, hands Ciala, then spots blood on her leg and pulls her clear. His eye lands on the phone in her bag, and it hits him like confirmation. This really is Earth. First aid before anything else, he says. He can finally speak plain Korean to a human, not a demon, and it steadies him. Ciala hands him her phone. He checks the date and freezes. Only 5 years have passed on Earth, not 10,000 like he feared. Monsters started appearing here 5 years back. He asks why she was out here alone. She admits she just awakened as a player, went solo gate hunting, and calls herself stupid. Ciala turns out to be a player too, freshly awakened, sitting at level 9. She asks his level. Kang-woo tells the truth in the worst way possible. His is probably lower than hers. Technically true, the Gaia system gutted him back to level 1. She has no idea she's walking beside the strongest thing that ever wore skin. He waves off her protests and insists on escorting her back himself. Kang-woo tells himself no more slips like the marriage line, embarrassing enough for one day. Good news, she doesn't suspect a thing. He resolves to ease into Earth society quietly. Then they reach the entrance, and it isn't a bus stop or a building. It's a gate, a rift tearing blue light through the trees. Stepping through this kind of space distortion means one thing: they are not on Earth anymore. Kang-woo can't spot a single ward holding this rift together, and that's the real problem. Something this size should need serious backup to stay stable. Ciala says she's already feeling steadier and wants to move. They step through in a wash of black light, and Kang-woo's eye burns red on the other side. Nearby, a recruiter barks for E-rank gate hunters, screening applicants for stray monster traits: an extra eye, a tentacle, a snout. Kang-woo steps out onto a street packed with people, actual living, breathing humans, and it hits him harder than any fight has in 10,000 years. He's really back. Police cars and tape block off part of the block, and he can't help but stare. Then Ciala, quieter now, asks if he wants to come eat at her place, her way of saying thank you. Ciala insists on repaying him with a home-cooked meal. Cherry blossoms drift by in a quiet time skip, spring rolling in. Back on the street, 2 men flash badges and demand his player card. He doesn't have one. There's no document for man who fell out of hell. So he reaches for something else, a devoured demon's power of oblivion, warping what the man actually sees. The officer's eyes go glassy and red for a heartbeat. Kang-woo's stolen power of oblivion rewriting what the man sees. It works, the fake card holds. Relief hits Ciala's face and they head off, promising something warm for dinner. Her building has no elevator, so it stares all the way up, and Kang-woo drinks in every detail. The musty smell of an old hallway, a narrow stairwell, a cold railing under his hand. He stops on the landing, dust catching the window light, cape hanging off one shoulder. It's finally sinking in. 10,000 years in hell, and of every place on earth, he's about to walk into Ciala's apartment for a meal. His face goes red with something close to joy. For the first time since clawing his way back, he lets himself believe the future might actually be good. "Mom," Ciala calls out, and a woman turns, thrilled her daughter's home. Kang-woo hangs back, wondering if this invite was ever really just about a meal. Ciala introduces him properly. "Oh, Kang-woo, the man who pulled her out of danger." Her mother's hands fly up, stammering thanks and bowing again and again at the stranger who saved her daughter's life. Ciala's mother won't stop thanking him, flustered, insisting she doesn't know how to repay this. Kang-woo waves it off and gets welcomed inside, promised a simple but honest meal. Privately, he can't help thinking a rough human meal already beats anything hell ever fed him. While the women get cooking, Ciala checks a worried text from her mom and hands over her phone so Kang-woo can finally look something up. Alone with the phone, Kang-woo just stares at it, the glass tracking his fingertip like nothing he's touched in 10,000 years. It nearly overwhelms him and he catches himself. Information first. 5 years have passed since he was dragged into hell, so he pulls up news from 2018. One headline stops him cold. The day of cataclysm, February 22nd, 2018, the day the world turned upside down. Gates tear open worldwide, monsters pour through, and bullets do nothing. Armies get slaughtered by the thousands before America pulls together a global response, Korea joining ninth. Somewhere in it, a mysterious first player emerges as humanity's answer. Then Kang-woo runs the math himself. February 22nd, 2018, the exact day he fell into hell. Before he can dig deeper, dinner's ready. Kang-woo sits down to a modest spread, and one bowl stops him cold. Kimchi jjigae. His eyes well up before he even lifts the spoon. Ciala's mother worries it won't be to his taste. He can barely answer. One bite in, and it's somehow better than anything from a life spent as a demon. Mother and daughter settle in across from him, murmuring the dish's name back at his reaction. He doesn't stop eating, bite after bite, like the bowl might vanish. In his head, the real story surfaces. 10,000 years trapped in hell's depths, surviving only by taking in demonic energy until he became something close to a demon himself. But his humanity and his appetite never let hell's food satisfy him. This, finally, is a meal that does. Kang-woo takes a bite of the stew and the memory hits before he can stop it. 10,000 years of choking down demon flesh that tasted like rot just to survive. Then it breaks him. He's crying over the bowl, whispering that he's actually back, really back on Earth, while Ciala and her mother stare, stunned. He thanks them over and over, and Ciala's mother waves it off. She's the one who's grateful. He asks for a second bowl of rice, and she jumps up beaming to get it. For the first time in 10,000 years, Kang-woo actually feels glad to be alive. And that's when the door blows open behind them. A shape looms out of a cloud of dust, cursing under its breath at the stubborn lock. Ciala and her mother stumble back coughing as the door gets kicked clean off its hinges. Then a voice booms through the haze, a blond man screaming for Ciala to get out here right now. Kang-woo steps between them and asks who said this guy could just walk in uninvited. Ciala backs him up, telling the intruder to get out. He doesn't budge, he flexes that he's a full-fledged player. Kang-woo doesn't even try to hide the laugh. The guy sneers right back, mock-impressed that a nobody like him would claim that title. The stranger keeps swinging, calling Kang-woo a fraud playing dress-up as a player, then turns his venom on Ciala. He blames her for their father dying young and their mother scraping by on nothing. She refuses to go with him to his guild, calling it trash. He laughs that off. He worked hard getting her into that good guild, he says, and grabs her. He hauls Ciala by force. Kang-woo locks onto his arm and stops him cold. Her mother screams her name in panic. The stranger keeps needling, asking if being nice is really how you survive this world, and the air turns lethal. Both sides squaring up like this is about to become a player fight. Ciala begs him by name. "Taehyun, please, she'll do better." Taehyun shoves past her and knocks her mother down instead, coldly telling her she should have moved when he said to. Ciala screams for her mom. Something dark ripples behind Taehyun's eyes as he snarls that no one gets to annoy him. She screams his full name back in fury. He just smirks, reminding her she's still low level, and he's already hit his second awakening. Taehyun laughs in her face, says she was never a match for him, and grabs her chin, spitting that her only use is that pretty face. As he leans in closer than he should, Kang-woo's arm ignites with power that rips the air apart behind them. Taehyun freezes mid-sneer. The math just changed, and from the look on his face, he knows it. The mockery keeps coming, and something in Kang-woo finally snaps. His eyes flash demon red, fire petals scatter through the room, and Seala's mother recoils in shock as Han Taehyun goes down hard. Kang-woo turns his back on the wreckage, muscle and steam rolling off him, the limiting seal cracking wide open. Turns out the fury isn't about the shove. Kang-woo roars that Taehyun spilled his kimchi jjigae, dead serious, while Taehyun sneers at Seala for dragging home a reject. Kang-woo just tells him to stop being a loser and get up. Taehyun freezes, stammers, and the Demon King's aura detonates in full. The Demon King looms in full silhouette over Han Taehyun, horns curling, eyes burning. One line, flat and lethal, spill my kimchi jjigae. It reads absurd on paper. It does not read absurd on the page. Taehyun doesn't get a word out before the beating starts. Kang-woo's fist ignites with borrowed blue fire, Ivalfer's power of speed, ripped off a demon he devoured 10,000 years ago. One punch closes the gap before Taehyun can even track it. Taehyun tells himself he imagined it, calls Kang-woo a crazy bastard to cover the panic, but the blue flame keeps coming. Seala screams Kang-woo's name and begs someone to run, tears streaking her face. Taehyun locks eyes on him, sure the guy's too slow to be a threat, and calls the hit from the left telegraphed, easy to read. Wrong, it's a feint, and he clocks it half a second too late. Taehyun's confidence caves. He eats one punch square, then another behind it, coughing and swearing through the pain, still insisting to himself this guy can't actually be strong. The blue flame answers with a clean slash through his guard, red spraying across the panel. Kang-woo lands another hit and Taehyun spits a curse through broken breath, calling it a feint too, except it isn't. It's the real thing landing while he's still flinching from the last decoy. Blood arcs across the alley. By the time he registers it, he's already on the ground, asking who the hell this guy even is. Kang-woo isn't finished. He hauls Taehyun back up, tells him to stop crying like a baby, and names the actual charge, still nowhere close to paying off the spilled kimchi jjigae. Dazed and bleeding, Taehyun can't believe this is really about soup and calls it stupid. Kang-woo repeats the word back like a verdict, and the beating resumes. Kang-woo turns the beatdown into a twisted game. Count 1, he tells Han Taehyun, Seala's blonde half-brother, and you scream kimchi jjigae. Count 2, you scream it's a sacred existence. Taehyun stammers the line through a mouthful of blood, and every weak delivery earns him another brutal hit. He sends Taehyun flying with every demand, mocking him to scream it like a believer praying to his god, like a man wooing the person he loves. Seala's mother watches in horror. Taehyun howls the line with everything he has, but Kang-woo isn't satisfied. Wrong tone, again, louder, until it hits the 7th octave. Taehyun finally screams it exactly right, voice cracking on every syllable. Kang-woo looks down at the wreck he's made of him and just says, "All right, done." He turns his bare back and walks away, eyes flaring demon red with a final warning, never look down on him again. Taehyun lies crumpled on the ground, groaning, a crucifix hanging from his teeth and blood pooling beneath him. He mutters, "What the hell," staring at his own bloodied fist, still trying to process what's wrong with the crazy bastard who just did this to him. The scene shifts to the quiet apartment kitchen. Seala's mother scrubs dishes at the sink, crying softly, whispering shit wide to herself. Nearby, Taehyun sulks half-dressed, muttering about the bastard he just met, the beating he took, and even having his clothes stolen, while Kang-woo lingers silently behind him. Taehyun chugs water, cursing Kang-woo in his head as that kimchi jjigae villain. Then he cracks out loud, asking if he's seriously suffering all this over kimchi jjigae. The outburst startles Seala's mother into dropping a glass. Kang-woo turns and asks flatly if he's upset about his beating because of kimchi jjigae. Taehyun panics, of course not. Demonic imagery floods the panel, Kang-woo's memory of 10,000 years without clothes, sleep, food, or comfort. He tells Taehyun to treasure his life ferociously, got it, and Taehyun instantly folds, terrified, agreeing out loud while silently vowing to report this to someone named Andras. Kang-woo then calls Seala over, and warns Taehyun he sees no reason to let him live. Right, he says, and lets the threat hang. Then he softens it, sort of. He's not going to kill Taehyun, but something else might be worse. A demon eye and grinning teeth fill the frame, and Taehyun's face twists in confusion and fear. It's Demon Prince Fulalok's power of dread, and he's about to find out exactly what that means. No, please no. A winged demon, the demon Oradras, looms over a screaming boy begging please, and it's not claws doing this, it's Fulalok's power of dread. It burns out the soul, drills in a fear that never washes off, turns the target into a puppet. Han Taehyun crumbles into exactly that, sobbing no no, while Han Seala watches him break and their mother stays silent. In the quiet after, Seala thinks, Kang-woo saved me again, while Taehyun sulks over his phone, dead broke and furious. Seala's eyes light up instead. She pulls up an entry on magic stones. The crystallized cores monsters drop. Bigger stone means higher rank, then hands Kang-woo the E-rank stone she looted off a goblin. Its color is the first clue to how strong it really is. Kang-woo checks the stone and finds no demonic energy in it, even though something's sealed inside. He expected magic stones to work like the demons he used to devour, boosting his stat, but instead they hold something else entirely, a separate power called magic. He drops the question for now, thanks Seala, and turns to the real problem. Making money starts with finding the nearest player support center. Kang-woo says he has business and asks Seala to come along. She can't stop thinking about him. Still embarrassed, she nearly fell for her brother's lies and thanks him again for opening her eyes. He waves it off. She wants to relearn the basics and chase her second awakening, telling him she has total faith in him, then scrambles to get ready. Traveling with him is making her stronger. Kang-woo's thoughts turn cold and practical. Ignore anything that slows him down, focus everything on regaining his power, exactly like he did clawing his way up in hell. It's been 10,000 years since he set foot on Earth, and surviving here means getting strong again fast. Then Seala snaps him out of it, asking if he has ID. He doesn't, so the plan changes. City Hall first. He holds his newly reissued citizen registration card, Kang-woo, spelled out plain. At the counter, the clerk finishes the paperwork without a second glance, no questions, nothing unusual, and that's what guts him. The card shows it's been 5 years since anyone touched his file, 5 years gone, and not one person ever filed a missing persons report. No one noticed he was gone at all. The realization cracks something loose in him, no one, and for a flash his demon form flickers back, red eyes blazing. Then Seala's voice cuts through. Kang-woo, look outside the window. They're on a train now, almost at their stop. The skyline opens up outside the glass and Seala lights up, amazed, telling him she loves the view from here. Kang-woo just says, yeah, it's something. Kang-woo thinks things are about to change as the skyline rolls by and Seala keeps grinning at the view. The train speeds toward the city, then pulls into the station. This is the player support center stop. Following the signs left, they step out to a sleek glass building, Seala waving him in. The sign over the entrance reads Player Support Center, Seoul Branch. This is where it starts. Kang-woo and Han Seala walk up to the Player Support Center headquarters, a glass tower so massive it dwarfs the plaza. Before she heads off to a Guardian lecture, Seala hands over her old phone so he can reach her on the center's Wi-Fi. He stares at it like it's treasure. They agree to grab dinner later. Stay safe, she says. Alone inside, Kang-woo gawks at how packed the place is, guessing being a player carries more weight than he thought. A kiosk asks for his ID. He inserts it, the screen churns, then confirms his identity, Kang-woo. It hands him queue number 18, and a glowing floor path lights the way straight to the testing room. In testing room 09, Kang-woo waits among the crowd and catches 2 players comparing results. One got D rank on his first try. The other laughs it off, saying it's nothing next to guild aces like Hanul's Beak Kanghyun or Red Rose's Cha Yeonju. Kang-woo's mind drifts to the 5 guilds that run Korea's rankings: Mir, Red Rose, Hanul, Sanri, Omnu, built by fighters born strong. Kang-woo tells himself that with great power comes great scrutiny, so he needs his full strength back fast before he crosses paths with any of them. The system pings a status window, Kang-woo level 4, First Awakening, Special Ability Gluttony, but the note underneath stings. His hell-forged powers are still sealed, weaker than he used to be. Then the intercom calls, number 18, come in. A nurse has him place his hand on a glowing orb. She explains the color it turns will mark his rank. Kang-woo tenses, half joking to himself that he shouldn't get too worked up. But what if it comes out weak? The orb flares, then a dull, muted tone settles in. The verdict lands flat, you are F rank. Kang-woo just stares, stunned. The nurse explains what F rank means. He starts with an E rank card, can only enter matching gates, and needs a guardian ranked above him just to travel abroad. Kang-woo grits his teeth, thinking bitterly that the Demon King never needed protection from anyone. He asks how to climb the ranks. She points him to the basic course and grinding magic stones. He nods, understood. Back at the testing counter, the nurse reassures him it's fine, still a little stunned herself that someone could undersell his rank this badly. Then the readout flickers again on her screen and her expression drops. The color's wrong, not F rank at all anymore. She stares at the shifting hue, stammering that there's no way it just turned pitch black. Remember this. Meanwhile, a rift tears open over the street and the plaza turns into a shouting match. Players scramble for party, calling for a dealer, a mage, a healer, any tanker willing. One man admits he's a bandit and gets shut down cold, guild after guild turning him away. Kang-woo steps up and flashes his player card. The checker scans it, confirmed E rank. He's waved through. A gate throws Kang-woo through in a burst of blue light, and he lands hard in a quiet forest, relieved it isn't hell this time. Teleporting still feels wrong, he admits before turning to hunt. Then a shout freezes him. A hulking stranger bolts upright like he's just spotted a bear and starts grilling him. Alone out here, no party, did he even awaken? The big stranger makes his pitch, and E-rank has no business hunting solo, better to party up. His crew already runs together, and one teammate half jokes they'll be saving Kang-woo's life. Kang-woo waves it off politely, insisting he came in with his own plan. Undeterred, the man sticks out a hand anyway. Name's Kang Tisu, he says, and you. Kang-woo introduces himself, still declining the party. Tisu waves off the formality, claims he's 24, and the group loses it. His ID card backs him up. Kang Tisu, born 1999, though someone jokes his last 5 years looked rough. Formalities drop, Tisu turns serious. This stretch is goblin territory, and one breed here, the hobgoblin, hits far harder than the rest. The hobgoblin looms in Kang-woo's head as Tisu finishes the warning boss-tier threat. Nothing like regular goblins, run from it on sight. Kang-woo thanks him, meaning it, he's a good guy. The party waves him off. Alone again, he admits if he really were the F-rank beginner his card claims, he'd have taken the offer. But he's better off solo and walks into the trees. Kang-woo reads the ground like a map, goblin tracks, plenty of them, all pointing the same way. He follows the trail through the brush, confident the nest is close. Then he clears the tree line and finds it, a goblin camp spread out below him, more of them crawling through the clearing than he expected. Bingo, Kang-woo says, and drops into the goblin camp blade first. One slash rips through in a spray of blood before the goblins even register the threat. He barely slows down. I think I hit the jackpot, he mutters, already lining up the next one. A goblin twice the size of the rest rears up and roars, the hobgoblin Tisu warned him about. Then shall I begin, Kang-woo says, already moving. Steel flashes. He closes the gap in an instant, and the fight is underway before the thing can even swing back. The hobgoblin swings and Kang-woo is already gone, ducking under, then coming back with a spinning slash under a darkening sky. It shrieks in fury and lunges again, and this time the blade goes clean through, the roar cutting into a scream mid-swing. This fight is not staying even for long. Kang-woo tears through the goblin camp in short, brutal strokes, blood spraying with every pass. Bodies drop before they can even raise a weapon. The goblins still standing size up the carnage and wonder out loud how there can possibly be this many of them left. He doesn't slow down, he just keeps cutting. Thanks for the meal, he mutters, and a fist wreathed in dark purple energy sinks into a fallen goblin. It's gluttony this time, chewing through magic instead of demons. The system pings, 8 mana goblins defeated, experience gained, level jumped to 8. His demonic energy stat climbs too. Leveling up stacks demonic energy on its own. Good to know. He kneels over another kill, working it out loud. The energy isn't sitting inside the magic stone like he assumed. It's spread through the whole body, and the amount left depends on how long ago the thing died. Power of gluttony surges around him in a wall of purple. His demonic energy stat jumps by 3. Now he can track magic stones and drain demonic energy in the same motion. He picks through the goblin remains for magic stones, joking that stripping flesh off bone feels exactly like tearing into fried chicken. The thought spirals fast. He's already planning a chicken run with Ciala once he's out, grinning over pickled radish and extra crispy skin. Then something catches his eye and the grin drops. Huh. Is that what they warned him about, he thinks, staring at the thing crashing toward him. It's the hobgoblin, the beefed-up goblin variant Kang Tisu flagged earlier, and it's bigger and meaner than anything else in this camp. It roars in his face. Kang-woo's expression goes flat with focus. Blue energy wraps around the hobgoblin's fists. It knows how to use magic, and that's new. Kang-woo lights up with his own purple demonic energy in answer. In his head he does the math. On raw protective power alone, his demonic energy still loses to this thing's magic. But that's not the whole equation, and he steps into the swing anyway. The hobgoblin swings first, its weapon trailing blue light, and Kang-woo meets it head-on, blade catching blade in a shower of sparks. They trade fast, ugly exchanges, neither one giving ground. Kang-woo starts to feel out the shape of the problem underneath all that raw power. The gap comes down to weight, plain physics, and every block sends Kang-woo skidding back. Shit, he thinks, his stats are still this low, he's getting shoved around just from blocking. He needs a real opening, not another trade. The hobgoblin doesn't give him time to find one, already barreling back in for the next swing. Hobgoblin swings those tree-trunk arms and Kang-woo backpedals, blade up just in time. He clocks it mid-dodge. This thing hunts better than any regular goblin in this camp, an offshoot of a boss mob, a full level above anything he's gutted tonight. Outclassed on paper, he doesn't care, he's already moving in. The hobgoblin snarls over the corpses of its own goblins, cornered and furious. To Kang-woo it's still just prey. He carves through its guard, decides the damage lands, then shoves the frustration building in his own chest straight into his demonic energy. Something colder switches on behind his eyes. He calls it power of rage, and the target isn't him, it's the hobgoblin. The goblin freezes, confused for half a second, then its whole body swells, muscles bulging, roar doubling in volume. Kang-woo watches his own gambit detonate and can't help the thought, did that actually just work? The buffed hobgoblin comes in bigger, louder, hitting harder than it has all fight, slashes tearing the air blue. Kang-woo reads it clean as he retreats. Power of rage is a straight buff, cranks a target's output several times over. Good skill, but every buff this strong comes with a catch, and he hasn't found it yet. There it is, the rage buff doesn't just add power, it burns away the hobgoblin's ability to think. Its swings go wide and wild, telegraphed a mile off. Kang-woo ducks under a haymaker that could have ended him and clocks the trade instantly. Bigger hits, zero aim. That's a discount he'll take every time. He calls the other half of the trade out loud. The same rage that maxes its offense guts its defense. Kang-woo reads the opening, slips past the wild swing, and puts the strike through clean. The hobgoblin drops, blood hits the dirt. The boss of this goblin camp is done. Kang-woo exhales, hands still slick red, more unsettled than triumphant. Then the system catches up all at once. Hideout cleared solo, bonus experience, a confirmed kill on a C-rank boss monster, level up to 11, and with it, a second awakening ability unlocks, insatiable hunger. He pumps his fist. New toy, time to test it. He walks up to the body, already running the math out loud. He should pull more demonic energy now, and stacking player perks on top should make him stronger still. He triggers gluttony. The absorption cloud comes out visibly darker, and the system confirms it. Insatiable hunger active, demonic energy up 3 points, total 11. Perfect, he thinks. Let's see how far this goes. Violet energy churns around him as he tests the surge in his power. He braced for maybe double his old strength. The number comes back triple. He stares down a bare skull, unease creeping in. A spike this fast could be more dangerous than it looks. Under a blood-red moon, footsteps echo out of the dark, and Kang-woo mutters, flat and certain, that he already knows why. He can't figure out why his awakening alone would cause this, then it clicks. He's holding the rank plate from the gate clear. Every new awakening, he realizes, must loosen the seal on his old power. If that's true, leveling up alone could hand back his full strength, one more reason to chase a higher rank gate. New goal, level 20, third awakening. Life slows down for a night. Kang-woo sits with Ciala in a crowded restaurant, tearing into fried chicken and washing it down with beer. He lets out a satisfied groan on the first gulp that hit the spot. Is it really that good, Ciala asks. The best, Kang-woo says. She teases him better than her kimchi jade jiggy. He freezes, caught, then backpedals hard, insisting hers wins every time. She laughs, calling him a funny one, and pushes her own plate toward him. Then her tone shifts. Kang-woo, she asks quietly, do you have any friends, any family? No, Kang-woo answers, no friends, no family, not even a house to go back to, nowhere fixed to sleep. Ciala goes quiet, then offers, would he like to stay at her place? He blinks, stunned, asks if she's sure. Yeah, she says. In this short time, he has no idea how much he's helped her. He waves it off, no need to worry about it. Kang-woo takes her up on the offer. Good luck to both of us, he says, and she grins okay. But watching him, she can tell he's carrying more than he lets on. Then she pulls out cash, about 3 million won, and holds it out. He's baffled why. She won't take no, call it thanks for saving her life, or reward money if he feels like too much. That night, Ciala watches him sleep and murmurs a quiet thank you. By morning, she's promising better kimchi jade jiggy and stacks of magic stones, and he thinks she might genuinely be an angel. He asks about a nearby D-rank gate. She knows one unexplored, rumored to be crawling with lizardmen. Good, he decides that's where he tests his strength tomorrow, but Ciala, he starts trailing off. The question finally comes out. Ciala, by any chance, is lizard meat any good? Not the send-off she probably expected, but it's exactly the kind of thing on Kang-woo's mind before he walks into a gate full of them. Ciala hands over her brother's old room and Kang-woo settles in for the night. In the dark, he jolts upright, fist clenched, still wired for a fight that isn't coming. Then he catches himself and just breathes. The quiet, the comfort. He hasn't felt this in 10,000 years. It's good to be back. At the gate entrance, players scout for party members heading into the deeper D-rank rings, brushing off one desperate straggler begging to tag along. Kang-woo shows his card, gets waved through as a confirmed D-rank player, and strides straight for the portal. No party, no backup. Finally, he thinks he's back in a gate. He steps through the portal into the gloom and sizes it up. Is this really the D-rank gate? He eases forward using what he calls his power of silence. Deeper in Lizardman's surface. Back home, Ciala walks him through the reed. Sound over sight, they hunt in packs. Kang-woo grins. Good, they've spotted him. And even better, they burn. Here's where it gets stupid, the good kind. Kang-woo taps into the power of Hellfire, a devil named Andrus's own borrowed flame, and the lizardmen don't even get to swarm. Fire rolls over the pack in sheets, the shriek and crackle drowning out everything else. This isn't a fight, it's cleanup. Regular fire you can put out, Hellfire you can't, not without demonic energy or magic of your own. It burns life force, not flesh, so the corpse stays whole enough to feed to gluttony after. Kang-woo half remembers the devil's name was Andrus. Then the brush rustles, eyes flash red, and a whole pack closes in at once. The swarm barely slows him down. Ciala's voice crackles in, warning that any bigger pack would actually be trouble. Kang-woo isn't worried. Fast and easy, that's the whole plan. The system pings, he's leveled up. His sheet flickers open, stats climbing, but his class still reads triple question marks. Progress is slowing the higher he climbs. This won't do. Wandering out, Kang-woo wonders if he should start hunting in bigger groups. A voice cuts through the quiet. A group reads his gear as a beginner's and offers him a spot on their guild hunt. He asks which guild. The answer, with a grin and a pendant held up like a badge, the Andrus Guild. Kang-woo doesn't even dress it up, not interested. That lands like an insult. One of them snaps, calling him an arrogant nobody who won't budge, while the others worry about facing their master empty-handed. So they pick the easy fix, beat him half to death, and drag him back anyway. Remember this, because the Andrus Guild has no idea what they just picked a fight with. The fire finally dies down, and Kang-woo lets out a breath. He looks over the scorched ground, everything in this stretch of the gate burned away to nothing. Now the real question, play it safe and grind with caution, or just wing it and race through levels as fast as possible. He's still weighing it when something catches his attention. A voice cuts through the trees. Hey. Kang-woo turns. It's Ha-jun, a senior player playing self-appointed babysitter, checking on the reckless newbie. He needles Kang-woo over the spotless clothes and the total lack of corpses. Kang-woo shrugs, says he's just resting, and Ha-jun's fake concern turns to insults the moment he gets attitude back. Someone draws steel and a bystander screams for him to stop, but Ha-jun waves it off. He's decided to teach this uneducated bastard a lesson himself, pegging Kang-woo as a B-rank at best for talking this big with nothing to back it up. He promises regret. Kang-woo just grins, says he's looking forward to it. Ha-jun swings, blade wreathed in blue light. Kang-woo barely reacts, tossing out a throwaway line instead. Did you know lizardmen are sensitive to sound? Then the answer lands, a shockwave of raw power that sends Ha-jun flying backward through the brush. No sword, no struggle, just one comment and one blast. Something huge stirs in the distance, and the guild scrambles to raise their magic barriers. Ha-jun, still smug even after getting thrown, brushes it off as maybe a few dozen at most, way too much for a cocky newbie to handle alone. He offers mercy if Kang-woo begs now. Kang-woo says nothing, and the silence unnerves him more than any threat would. Kang-woo answers with a name instead of a blade, power of sound. Rain hammers down as he unleashes it, and the hunters go white with shock. He walks through the storm he's causing without a flicker of concern, and the group starts screaming that he's a psychopath, begging him to stop. It doesn't. They end up huddled behind a glowing barrier, alone in the dark. All right, Kang-woo says, calm as ever, while Ha-jun stares at him like he's lost his mind. Inside their barrier, the group presses together as the dark closes in, streaks of movement raining down around them. Out past the light, dozens of eyes gather in the black, and something massive, white and horned, rises up out of the tree line. The horn thing bears down from above as the swarm closes in, more lizard men than anyone in the guild has ever seen in one place. They scream at Kang-woo, calling him crazy, demanding to know if he wants them all to die together. He answers with a single clean cut and a shrug. Then, calm as ever, lizardmen are sensitive to sound. He planned every second of this. The monster's jaws come roaring out of the dark, and Kang-woo doesn't flinch. One of the hunters screams that he's out of his mind, that he's trying to get everyone killed. Kang-woo just smiles. He was never planning on dying, he says. They are. Power of silence wraps around him, and he vanishes into the horde without another word. Up in the trees, more shapes are waiting, and then something huge tears loose with a roar, pale-maned and massive. One of the hunters finally understands what's happening, eyes wide, voice shaking. This isn't random, it's a skill, one that controls sound. Kang-woo didn't just walk into this swarm, he summoned it. Someone shouts to get the barrier back up, but it's too late, the horde is already through. A horned demon slams into one of the hunters, and a girl goes down with blood on her face, gasping. Above the wreckage, a lone shadow stands over the fallen, watching the swarm finish what it started. Panic spreads fast, one hunter frozen with a hand clamped over his own mouth, two others whispering in terror. A red-skinned demon bears down on the group, a body already face down in the dirt, a sword left jammed uselessly in the ground. Kang-woo catches himself flinching at the carnage, and behind him, a bloodied hunter claws forward, screaming for someone to save him. The hunter keeps begging, says he was wrong, says please over and over. Someone screams out for backup, but the call comes too late to matter. Kang-woo just raises a fist and tells him good luck, flat, almost cheerful. Then the swarm answers instead, and the scream that comes back is pure hate, calling him every name in the book. Fight evil with a bigger evil, Kang-woo thinks, grinning through it all, answer murderous intent with something even more murderous. The forest goes quiet for a second, and then fire rips through it, power of hellfire crawling up his blade in a wall of flame. He stands in the middle of it, untouched, and lets out a slow breath when it's done. A clawed hand reaches down, gluttony ready to feed, and Kang-woo asks if they should get started. Then the system stops him cold, demonic energy up by 1 point, but gluttony can't touch anyone protected by the Gaia system. He's heard that name before, back when it first slammed him down in this world. Looking at it now, it clicks, players are shielded by it too. He wanted to know if gluttony could rip a player's ability out of them, not just their strength. Doesn't matter now, he shrugs it off, bloodied on the ground because his demonic energy stat just cracked 30, jumping hard in amount and in quality, power of hellfire included. All that's left is leveling up, and for once he sounds excited. The third awakening is coming. Kang-woo stands alone in a dark clearing, still catching his breath after hunting this hard, muttering that no one's pinning this on him. Still, he calls it for the day. I'll get going after just a bit more, he says, and melts into the trees. 3 days pass. Back home over breakfast, Ciala asks if he's heading to the gate to hunt again today. He tells her yes, back by dinner. Ciala frowns, he hasn't rested in days, but he laughs it off. Over the kettle, she lays out the plan. Hit goblins today, level up, maybe hit her own second awakening soon. He reassures her. She pours one more cup of tea, worried about his exhaustion. Quietly, he thinks she's basically an angel. Ciala asks if he's heard the rumors from the gates, a player killer stalking hunters. Kang-woo goes still, thinking back to the Andras Guild slaughter he caused with hellfire and a lizardman swarm. He already checked the scene, no witnesses, and the wounds read like monster kills, not murder. If the rumor really is him, there's nothing to worry about. He just can't get careless. Kang-woo grinds fast, laser-focused on hitting level 20. The system pings, level 20, third awakening unlocked. He tests an old favorite, hellfire tearing through the trees, exactly as strong as expected. Then it hits him. Every awakening cracks the limiting seal on the Myriad Demon Palace a little wider, and more energy bleeds through. His eyes flash red. A magic stone at his feet catches his eye. The demonic bloom folds back around the crystal glow at its heart, flame settling into a quiet hush. No words, just the afterimage of the skill hanging in the air as the moment goes still. His eye flashes red as the system finally spells out his third awakening skill, the demon who desires magic, rank A. The effect is exactly what it sounds like. He can crack open a magic stone and pull the magic straight out, converting it into demonic energy. He murmurs the words back to himself, half in disbelief, then reaches for the stone at his feet to try it. It works, not bad, he grins, turning the ball of demonic energy over in his palm. One magic stone, he realizes, gives him as much power as draining an entire monster, meaning he can level his demonic energy twice as fast from here. The math just changed. Only catch, every stone he burns for power is one he can't sell. His side income from the magic exchange is dead. Well, since he already earned plenty these past few days, he won't need the magic exchange for a while. which means way more free time on his hands, and if he's got free time, he wants to test drive this new skill some more. Fists clench, small grin, should he keep playing a little longer? Cut to him alone in a sunlit clearing, sword lowered, breathing out. Phew. Kang-woo drops to his knees in the trees, breathing ragged, straining like something's tearing loose inside him. His eyes flash red. Then it erupts, a wild burst of violet energy ripping through the leaves around him. Whatever this is, he's fighting just to hold on to it. The power locks in, power of the sky. Violet wings snap out and lift him clean above the tree line. He remembers he never actually found the boss monster for these lizard men, and he wants that magic stone, a higher rank than anything he's cracked open yet. Only problem, the canopy's too thick to spot it from up here. Kang-woo lands and rubs his head. No good, not enough demonic energy left to pull that off again so soon. Then a voice cuts through the trees, panicked, bloodied. One word forms, Tisu. Off to the side, a red-haired stranger sneers over him, calling him a tough old pig, while his gray-haired partner watches, unimpressed, noting he's holding up better than expected. Hidden in the brush, Kang-woo tenses. Something about this doesn't add up. A battered party member screams why, realizing the bandit who'd been begging to join their group was the mole all along. Kang Tisu, blood on his tusks, rounds on the real attackers and roars the question everyone's thinking, why turn on your own party member? The gray-haired attacker snaps at Tisu to shut up before he draws every lizardman in the forest. The red-haired one just wants answers. Scattered nearby, the rest of the party lies beaten, clearly sold out. Watching from cover, Kang-woo puts a name to it, the rumored KAO players, and it wasn't him they were hunting after all. Tisu shouts back anyway and gets silenced with a fist. The red-haired attacker's fist connects like a truck. Tisu staggers, wheezing, barely upright. Even his attackers look surprised, muttering that he's too tough for someone who's only hit his second awakening. Then one of them murmurs it's exactly what they wanted, and a bloodied hand closes tight around a blade hilt. Tisu grits out one line, I won't go down, it doesn't matter. The attacker lets his own power off the leash, gold lightning tearing the air, and drops him easy. Then the taunt lands harder than the hit. Nice special ability for a second awakening, but without a third one, Tisu was never winning this. The attacker catches his breath, power still crackling off him. Let's end this, the red-haired one says, grinning down at Tisu. You know you can't kill him, right? Of course, he says, easy as anything. Hidden in the trees, Kang-woo goes still. They can't kill him. So what exactly is stopping them, and what exactly are these two? Kang-woo hangs back in the bushes, telling himself he only came to look. Kang Tisu lies pinned below him, and something in his gut says walk away. Should he help him? Before he can decide, the red-haired attacker sneers down at Tisu. Raise your shield, muscle pig. The red-haired attacker grins wide, ready to finish it. This is gonna hurt a bit, she says. Kang-woo's eye flares demon red and he can't stay hidden anymore. Wait, he yells, breaking cover. Something rustles in the brush below him and his stomach drops. That's... Kang-woo steps into the open and the aura rolling off him hits like a gut punch. Demonic energy. One of them blurts, both attackers going tense at once. Kang-woo's eyes flick over the pair, sizing them up cold. Who are these bastards? He mutters, already reading them as more than they look. Who are you? The red-haired attacker demands, stepping past Tisu's crumpled body. Are you just a passerby? Her partner laughs cold. What an unlucky son of a bitch. Tisu stirs weakly, barely tracking what he's seeing. Then the threat lands flat. You've already seen everything, so don't even think about walking away unscathed. Kang-woo, Tisu croaks out, recognizing him through the haze. The red-haired attacker doesn't care either way. We don't need to capture that bastard alive, right? Well, yeah, her partner shrugs. We already filled our quota with these two. Hey. Is that so? She grins, blade humming purple. I see. Kang-woo just became disposable. Something flickers across Kang-woo's face, quiet and almost fond. It's been a long time. Tisu screams the warning too late. Kang-woo, watch out, as the attacker rears back with a blade of raw purple energy. I'm going to slice away to my heart's content, she snarls and brings it down on his exposed back. She has no idea how bad this is about to go for her. Kang-woo doesn't move to dodge. The blade meant for his back turns on her instead, like her own arm stopped taking orders from her mid-swing. She's the one who ends up cut, and her partner just stares, frozen, watching her go down instead of him. What the hell are you doing? What got into you? Her partner shouts, unable to process what he just watched. The red-haired attacker chokes out in no. Something's weird, coughing blood as whatever just happened keeps happening, her own body no longer answering to her. The gray-haired attacker screams for her to wait, but her own strike already turned on her, Cotu down and bleeding. He doesn't waste time grieving. Rage flips a switch, and he raises a blade wrapped in violet light, coming for the man responsible, Kang-woo. He brings the blade down like he means to end this in one swing. Kang-woo doesn't dodge. He answers with his own trump card, Power of Destruction, and the two forces collide in a wall of white light. This is the math changing in real time. The clash detonates, the attacker gets thrown clean off his feet, coughing blood, all the fight punched out of him in one hit. Kang-woo walks past the sword left jammed in the dirt like it's nothing. Behind him, COT, who is still down, gasping, barely breathing. Kang-woo crouches over her, grabs a fistful of hair, and gets right in her face. "Let me ask you something," he says, cold as anything. He wants to know exactly where she got that demonic energy. She spits a curse instead of an answer, so he makes her cough one up. He is not asking twice. Answer obediently, he tells her, and asks again where the power came from. She clams up, so he stops being patient. Power of dread kicks in, a devoured demon prince's own terror made real, and a monstrous violet face fills her vision. She breaks screaming. Broken, she starts talking the guild master. Her partner screams at her to shut up, using her name COT, who like that will stop this. Kang-woo rounds on him instead, dark energy flaring hard enough to make the question rhetorical, "Are you out of your mind?" Then, calm again, back to her. "The guild master, go on." She gives up the name, Andra's guild, screaming it like it costs her something. It does, she keeps going. Their guild master ran some kind of ritual and handed her this power. Kang-woo wants specifics. What ritual? She stalls, terrified, and he reminds her she hasn't learned her lesson yet. "Tell me." Her partner is still stammering when it happens. Tu convulses mid-sentence and goes down screaming, blood pouring out before she can finish. Kang-woo clocks it instantly. Somebody planted a fail-safe rig to kill her the second she talked ritual details. The partner backs off, recognizing him. Then Tisu's people show up, stunned to find him breathing. Kang Tisu's rescued party surrounds Kang-woo, stunned he was never just some E-rank rookie. Tisu grips his hand, laughing, thanking him over and over, swearing to repay the favor. Then the mood sours. Someone brings up the Andra's guild, and the thought that they'd actually field players like this leaves the whole group uneasy. One of Tisu's men wants to report Andra's and KAO straight to the Wakyung Corps, the government's player unit, so they'll start investigating immediately. Tisu shuts that down. He'll handle Andra's himself, he says, and tells everyone to forget what happened here. The rest back off, trusting his call. Tisu drops into a full loyalty speech, ranting about repaying Kang-woo's sense of justice like it's straight out of a movie. Kang-woo just stares, baffled, silently sizing him up against Balak. Tisu declares he's joining Kang-woo's journey no matter what, debt or no debt. A young healer from Tisu's crew thanks Kang-woo too, calling herself a mere D-boongs, party slang for the rejects nobody wants, too weak to tank or deal damage. She calls it their fate, still shaken that she couldn't do anything in the fight and became dead weight for Tisu. She vows to hit S-rank one day and stand beside them as equals, then takes off before anyone can argue. Kang-woo shrugs it off. People owing him favors isn't the worst thing. Tisu turns to another of his own and grills him on his level. 12, Second Awakening just unlocked. The Second Awakening ability comes back A rank, and just like that the math changes on how strong this kid actually is. Tisu could have joined any guild he wanted with a rank like that. Instead, he pounds his fist to his chest and swears loyalty to Kang-woo outright. Kang-woo just calls it decent. Kang-woo's mind drifts to Han Seala, due for her Second Awakening any day now. Tisu takes in a new healer on the spot, and she thanks brother Kang-woo for it. Kang-woo asks a favor instead, pair up with Seala once her basic training wraps and level her safely. Tisu lights up, then asks if he's finally heading to the Andra's guild. Meanwhile, Kang-woo stands alone, quiet, toweled off after the fight, lost in thought. Cut to a battered figure jolting awake on the ground, blood on his lips, coughing hard. Kang-woo crouches next to him. He's got one question, and the man had better not lie. Kang-woo grips the captive's jaw in the dark clearing, ordering him to nod if he understands. Two beaten men cough in the dirt behind him. He asks for a name. Kang Chialho, the man rasps. Kang-woo presses him on the order to capture players alive. Chialho stalls, claims he doesn't remember. Blue demonic energy detonates around Kang-woo's fist. The shock rips a scream out of Chialho. Kang-woo asks again if he remembers, and this time it breaks him. They capture players alive to offer as sacrifices. Kang-woo repeats the word back, disgusted. Dragging Chialho's slack body off, he mutters there are more lunatics running around than he thought, and that Han Taehyun said something eerily similar. Kang-woo yanks Chialho's bruised face up by the chin and says his name. Chialho can barely answer before Kang-woo's eye flares demon red, filling the panel. "I have a favor to ask of you," he says, and the calm in his voice is somehow worse than the beating that came before it. Under flickering game over and level up signs, a guildmate stops Chialho and clocks the fresh bruises. "Where's Tiho?" he asks. "Tiho is dead," Chialho says, and shoves the sacrifice at him instead of explaining further. He claims a high-level player ambushed them, that Tiho's death is the only reason he lived. He tells it word perfect, like it was fed to him. Chialho hauls the unconscious sacrifice up the steps of the hideout. The handler notes he's still breathing, fine for the ritual, then needles Chialho about acting strange. Tiho's death means Chialho pockets all his demonic energy alone, maybe even earns baptism for it. When the handler floats that he might have killed Tiho himself to hoard the power, Chialho snaps, dumps the sacrifice, and storms off. The handler stares after him, baffled, wondering if Chialho's just cut up over Tiho's death. He decides the man's more sensitive than he figured. Elsewhere, a guild leader strides late into a ceremonial hall lined with red carpet and banners. He's briefed fast. A high-level player disturbed the hunt. Tiho is dead. Then comes the only question that matters here, and the sacrifice. Someone rushes the sacrifice forward, no time to waste. Hooded cultists pack a red-lit hall, chanting for the immortality, the eternal life, the power of the great Andras. A hulking, red-eyed shape looms over them as one convert begs for strength, boasting it's been a year since he converted. The congregation is growing, and if the next offering is a player. Great Andras promises to quench that hunger with demonic energy itself and calls the ceremony to begin. Magic stones flare to life as the ritual feeds on them. Body, heart, and power warp further with every convert, the entity vowing it will become a complete demon. Then the real hook lands. Tonight's baptism was supposed to be Kang Chialho, but he refused to hand over the ritual's tools. Cultists grumble that with no sacrifice delivered tonight, there's no baptism for anyone. The ritual master silences them with a roar, ordering every follower to bring their own sacrifice and magic stones or go without. He turns to the bound victim already on the altar and claims this priceless sacrifice for himself, then commands the ceremony to begin. Red and blue energy ignites around the altar. With every magic stone gathered, the ritual master gloats he can run dozens more ceremonies and keep growing stronger. Demonic energy floods through the ritual's crack, and he admits he wants to swallow it whole right now. But raw demonic energy kills without a filter. His fix: let the sacrifice absorb it until death, then drink the corpse's blood for it refined. The ritual master casts the killing curse, willing demonic energy to consume the sacrifice's life. The man convulses and bleeds, holding on far longer than expected, and cultists wonder aloud if his awakening ability is A rank. The ritual master grins. The longer a sacrifice lasts, the more energy he gets to harvest. The count climbs 5 times over 10, 15, and the victim screams no. The ritual master cackles that this is an incredible sacrifice, the multiplier still climbing 17 times, 20, 30. He howls with laughter, demanding the dying man open his eyes and scream. The count keeps rising, 40, 50, numbers he's never seen before. Then strange blue energy surges up where there should only be red, and his grin falters. Why isn't it stopping? Voices cry out for it to stop as the power surging out of the sacrifice keeps building, past anything the ritual should allow. 2 onlookers beg him to stop, then the ritual master himself screams it, right before the whole altar erupts in a blast of red and blue energy. In the smoking aftermath, he's on his knees, shaking, unable to process how his own ceremony just backfired. The sacrifice stands up unhurt, announcing the ritual just leveled him up 20 stats. The ritual master gapes as the man grabs him and asks casually if they can run the ceremony one more time, this time on him. Panic floods his face. No, as he realizes what's coming. He screams that he's a bastard and answers with a wave of fire instead. Not bad, the sacrifice says, almost bored, as the ritual master hurls fireball after fireball at him. The two collide in a storm of flame and dark energy, blast after blast tearing through the hall, until the ritual master doubles over, grunting in pain from the exchange. One of the cultists freezes, recognizing what's radiating off him: demonic energy. Power of the primordial flares to life around him in a wave of dark purple light, and the ritual master reels back in pain again. Cornered, he screams for every cultist in the hall to attack at once, and the fight turns into a full melee against the one man they were supposed to be sacrificing. The demonic brawl boils over. A blast of dark energy tears through the hall and cuts down cultists who aren't even part of the fight, blood spraying across the floor as one drops screaming. The ritual master shoves through his own shrieking followers, snarling for the useless bodies to get out of his way. He's done playing host. Now he wants blood that isn't filtered through a ritual. The ritual master's mask slips. He's secretly a real guild master, and he wants Kang-woo to see the resume. Watch this, he grins, dragging up a fire built to incinerate anything alive, the same hellfire Kang-woo already wields. He sneers that Kang-woo can't possibly surpass him. Then it hits, and something on his face breaks. This shouldn't happen. The shock doesn't fade. This is impossible. The ritual master chokes out, staring at power that shouldn't exist. His face twists demonic, green-skinned and grinning through the panic. I can't beat something like that, he admits, and the fire dies around him. The brawl is over, and he just lost it badly. A cultist points and screams the words that flip the whole scene. The great incarnation of Andras. Kang-woo barely gets out a stunned what before the surviving followers drop to their knees, hailing him as their king, their god, their messiah, the tyrant meant to rule the world and lead them to eternal life. One shoves the others down. Bow your heads. Kang-woo just stares, thinking, this bastard. Cho Deokyeon stares up at Kang-woo, overcome, recognizing the face behind the myth. Kang-woo clocks it and decides to play along. Riding the power of sky into the air, he roars the part, the great Andras, king of hellfire, king of all demons. The cult erupts, chanting his name. Then, quietly, he orders them to clear the room. With the cult cleared out, Kang-woo turns back to Cho Deokyeon alone and lays it out plainly. He wants a private discussion. No audience, no worship, just answers. Alone now, Kang-woo asks for name. Cho Deokyeon, the man, stammers, still trembling with reverence. Kang-woo says he's got questions, and Deokyeon swears he'll answer anything, still calling him Great Andras. Kang-woo shuts that down cold. Cut the crap. He already knows Kang-woo isn't the real thing. Deokyeon tries one more question, and Kang-woo shuts him down. Answer only. Don't ask. Then comes the real question. How did a guy like him tear a crack bigger than he could control? Deokyeon caves. Months back, a stranger in a demon mask promised him eternal life if he served the demonic religion. Kang-woo mutters, crazy fucker, and demands to know exactly who that stranger is. One of the captured men swears the guild had no choice. Whoever runs this thing overpowered them in an instant. Follow his orders or die. Orders come by mail now, no face since. Kang-woo presses why they obey so completely, gets the same shaking answer, because he's too powerful. He reasons this stopped being coercion once the puppet master tasted demonic power and started ruling on his own. Who is he? Kang-woo demands the letters with the cult's orders. Only one exists, its message simple. Accept the demonic energy, become a demon, recruit as many players as possible. He asks Cho Deokyeon if he's the only one who got this pitch. Deokyeon isn't sure, never met another recruit. Kang-woo doesn't buy it. A careful cult wouldn't run on one contact. They'd sell everyone off, so catching him never exposes the rest. Kang-woo turns on the cultists, disgusted these bastards turned this place into hell. He lays down 3 rules: stay quiet about what happened, never speak of him, never let another cult like this take root. Terrified, they scream yes over and over. Get lost, he says. Walking off, he thinks even wiping out this cell won't end it. This isn't the first sacrifice this religion has burned through. Cut to a stone-faced official flanked by soldiers, a reminder the government already has its eyes on cults like this. Kang-woo knows digging in himself would get him caught, so he'll watch from the shadows instead, erasing his own tracks and stepping in only once these people have served their purpose. Exhausted, he heads home for healing, and the second he's through the door, Seala shouts his name. Seala rounds on him the moment he's inside, phone showing missed calls since morning, demanding to know why he vanished after the gate and never answered. Kang-woo apologizes, says something came up, and she exhales in relief that he's all right. She's already cooking, and she guessed right, kimchi jjigae with good meat. Kang-woo goes overboard thanking her, gushing respect for a dinner like this every night. Later, Seala announces her second awakening landed her a B-rank special ability, Blessing of Light, a healer's skill. Kang-woo's mind races. A healer like that paired with a tanker like Tisu could build a monster party. He asks if guilds have come calling. So many, she says, but she's turning everyone down. She only wants to help Kang-woo. He can't help thinking she's basically an angel. Kang-woo tells her straight, her new ability is genuinely high rank, but objectively she's not ready to party with him yet. Seala goes quiet, stung. Alone, wreathed in demonic energy, he reasons it out. He's already far past his level, and partying with her now would starve him of real experience. Better she levels first with a tanker who has an A-rank ability while he trains properly. Seala agrees she'll party with the A-rank tanker instead, Tisu, reasoning 2 high-rank abilities working together will let her level fast enough to catch up. Kang-woo offers to sponsor whatever gear she needs until then. She thanks him, still stunned by how quickly this turned around. Then the kimchi jjigae she'd been simmering is finally ready, and his eyes light up before she can even finish talking. Kang-woo stares at a bowl of fresh ramyeon like it's a boss fight, steam curling off the toppings. One bite in, his eyes blaze red and demon silhouettes flood the panel as he grips his chopsticks and vows, dead serious, to protect this world with his own hands, no matter what, all over instant noodles. Outside the player support center, the staff confirm Kang-woo's C-rank card will be mailed out tomorrow. He steps into the street alone, admitting he hasn't taken a single day off since coming back to Earth. There's nothing more he can do about it right now, so he decides to actually rest. The only problem, he has no idea what to do with free time. Before hell, Kang-woo used to kill time broke, scrolling webtoons and novels on his phone. He catches himself about to do the same thing and stops. After 10,000 years, life can't just go back to how it used to be. He decides to enjoy everything Earth has to offer this time and stops outside a PC Bang, a sight he's never seen before. Inside the PC Bang, Kang-woo sinks into the gaming chair. Stunned, you can order food straight from the screen. Heaven on earth as far as he's concerned. He picks the most popular game running, clocks the roles between protecting and killing, and decides his is obvious, the one who slaughters the enemy on the battlefield. He picks his character, 5 against 5, so this is a game. Mid-match, Kang-woo's ordered ramyeon finally arrives at his seat. He barely glances at the trash talk flooding the game chat and digs in instead, moaning over how good it is, wishing he'd ordered kimchi on the side too. Between kills, he's just marveling at instant noodles like it's the greatest food on earth. Truly heaven, he decides. Then something on screen catches him off guard. The system flashes, "You have died." Kang-woo roars at his screen, cursing the enemy player going by Timo for showing up right as their team hit level up. The outburst turns heads. A capped stranger looks over, and the red-haired girl beside him snaps that she's already having a bad night, so he'd better look elsewhere. Then Kang-woo checks his screen and clocks the coincidence. Good luck or bad luck. The red-haired girl can't believe it. He's eating ramyeon in the middle of all this. Kang-woo has no idea what she means, doesn't even know who these two are. The capped guy explodes, calling him a troll and swinging on him, convinced Kang-woo tanked their game on purpose. Kang-woo asks why he's suddenly getting jumped over a video game. The guy isn't buying it. Kang-woo just catches the punch. One grab is all it takes. Kang-woo barely seems to try, and the capped guy goes flying backward through the air like he got hit by a truck. The red-haired girl barely reacts before the same force catches her too, hair and clothes ripping from the shockwave. Two PC Bang trolls just picked a fight with a former demon king over a video game and paid for it instantly. A fist wrapped in crackling blue light drives straight for his face, and he barely reacts in time, eyes narrowing in recognition. Back in the packed PC Bang, the capped, red-haired fighter squares up on him. "Who are you?" she demands. "Did the Mir Guild send you?" She presses harder, listing Mir Guild among the top 5 before dismissing his not in a guild claim as an obvious lie. Kang-woo goads her, letting slip he supposedly belongs to one of the most infamous top guilds, then catches himself, panics that he blew a secret, calls for the bill, and books it while she yells after him. Unconvinced, she needles him, insisting no A-rank fights without a guild behind them. Kang-woo hands over his card. It reads, "Oh, Kang-woo D-rank." He shrugs, says to go easy on him, he's just a beginner who nearly died. She can't square that with what she just watched him do. He says he's done and walks off mid-sentence, leaving her stunned. She calls out for him to wait, but he keeps walking. Alone, she mutters to herself, wondering if he could really be who she thinks. Out on the street, Kang-woo lets his guard down for a second, admitting to himself that his powers are gone and he's weak now. All he has left are reflexes honed over years of fighting. He never expected to run into someone operating at his level so fast, especially not with a finishing move like that. For one beat in that fight, she actually slipped out of his sight completely. He's left turning it over. Who is she? Then he snaps back, alone on a rooftop AC unit. Elsewhere, footsteps stop on a rainy rooftop. She checks that no one's in earshot, figures the rain covers her voice well enough, and pulls out her guild communicator. "Connect me to HR," she orders. The call picks up. Red Rose's HR lead, Park Hyunwoo, on the line, asking what's wrong. Hyunwoo catches the caller ID and freezes. It's Cha Yeonju, Red Rose's own guild leader, calling him directly. She needs him to dig into someone, maybe tied to the demonic religion cult they've been hunting, maybe not, she's still not sure. His card reads, "Oh, Kang-woo D-rank," a name nobody tracks, easy to hide behind. But a real D-rank couldn't kill players his own level. No, she says, something's off. He doesn't belong at that level, she realizes. He read her movements perfectly. Even holding back, no demonic religion follower has ever reacted to her that fast, not until him. She's sure there's no one in the cult who matches her, definitely not. But that bastard, she mutters, replaying the clash of blue energy that nearly took her down. Yeonju stares him down, replaying those reflexes in her head. Based on skill alone, he's either a fanatic in the demonic religion or its leader outright. Across town, Kang-woo throws up an oblivious thumbs up, no clue he's being profiled. Yeonju turns to Hyunwoo, find out everything on him now. He doesn't even know he's already a target. Yeonju's mind won't let it go. Fused talent lets a player blend two skill trees into one, but it never closes the level gap. A D rank with fused talent still moves like a D rank. Kang-woo moved like something else entirely. If he's really that low a rank, the math doesn't add up. Across town, oblivious, Kang-woo just grumbles that his shirt got torn in the scuffle. Kang-woo, banned from his favorite PC bang, shrugs it off. Tomorrow he grinds a C-rank gate the second his license clears. No guarantee he holds his rank while that threat's still out there, and he needs the levels. Across the city, Yeonju checks a report on her screen and freezes, eyes going wide. Oh, Kang-woo. Yeonju's shock curdles into fury, blue lightning crackling around her as she crushes what's left of a torn button in her fist. You piece of shit, she snarls, I'll find you and kill you. Whatever she just read about him, it's bad enough to break her composure completely. Cut to Kang-woo, arms crossed on a quiet street, shrugging off a sudden chill, no idea how much heat is coming for him. Meanwhile, Kang-woo checks in at the Mokdong C-rank gate, scanning the board for tonight's target, whatever it is he just wants to hunt fast. A guard stops him cold, C-rank only and only in a party of 5 because the chief troll, the gate's boss, has spawned, and solo entry gets blocked the moment a boss shows. Kang-woo just grins, first day with his new license, and a boss appears. How lucky. Cluster of hunters waiting it out while Kang-woo clocks their gear, their nerves, and a troll built nothing like the weak stuff he farms solo. If he wants this boss alone, he needs a way in. The party hypes itself up to take the chief's head, bravado covering real fear underneath. Kang-woo's eyes flare red. One spoonful of this thing's power, he thinks, would round out his collection perfectly. One of the hunters admits this gate is terrifying, that this run might be his last. The party trades old wounds, years of getting stomped by trolls beneath their rank, years of nightmares before the gates ever opened and gave them a shot at power. Then unseen, power of rage locks onto them, a demonic buff that cranks strength through the roof and burns away rational thought right along with it. The rage hits and one hunter snaps, screaming why they still bow to monsters at all. The others catch it like fire, fear flipping straight into bloodlust, one swearing vengeance for a lost sibling, another just wanting payback for every humiliation. In seconds, the party is howling that they'll kill every monster in the gate. Power of rage doesn't make you brave, it just deletes the part of you that hesitates. The frenzy Kang-woo planted takes full hold. The hunters shove and scream, howling that they'll rip the boss apart with their bare hands, storming the gate like men with nothing left to lose. Bystanders recoil, confused. Officials on scene admit they've never seen a crowd react like this to a boss alert. Kang-woo slips through the portal alone while the frenzied mob keeps every eye on the entrance. He steps into blinding light and lands somewhere new, a desert, nothing like the swamp gate from before. The scale of it stops him for a second. Vast, empty, no way to cross it on foot, then he just laughs. He'll fly. He checks his stats. Demonic energy just cleared 50, the number he needed enough to make this work. He decides right there and drops out of the sky, slamming down and venting raw power straight from a devoured demon's grip. Astaroth, one of the demons he swallowed in hell, gives up his power of observation. The skill floods his mind with everything happening across the desert at once, and it's too much. He grunts through the overload. He forces it down to one thread. There. A hulking shape rises out of the dust ahead. That's the boss. But it isn't alone. A wall of lesser monsters guards it. Down below, the rage-maddened hunters charge, screaming for the chief's head, plowing straight into the horde of small fry guarding it. Let them clear the trash, Kang-woo thinks. He'll take the chief himself. No warm-up, no plan B, just a flat order to commence the onslaught before he launches off the ridge and closes the gap in a blur. He doesn't so much fight the chief as erase it, blade trailing blue light through one strike after another. The system confirms it clean. The A-rank boss, Chief Troll, is dead. A bonus rolls in on top. He contributed the most to the kill, so his experience gets tripled. 4 levels all at once. Even Kang-woo looks stunned by his own number, a genuine what escaping him. Below, the surviving hunters can only stare at the wreckage of the fight and ask the obvious question. Their target just died in one shot. Amid the wreckage, Kang-woo double-checks the window. Yes, that counted as a boss. So why did a C-rank chief fold that fast? He catches himself. It wasn't weak. The numbers say it hit harder than any C-rank should. He came here for an easy grind. At this rate, he's getting exactly that, and the next two grunts barely get a shriek out before he cuts them down. Kang-woo watches the trolls close back in and decides right there, no more picking them off one at a time. Time to change the plan. His grin curdles into something colder, eyes flashing demon red. Since things turned out this way, he says, he's wiping the whole group out at once. He drives one strike into the pack, and toxin laced into the blade detonates inside them, racking every troll from the inside out. The system pings, C-rank troll group eliminated, 2 levels gained. Blood sprays across the sand as the last of them drops. A notification lands, skill acquired, Terra Blade, rank A7, a raw ability crystallized from repeated use into something he can call on with real precision. Intrigued, Kang-woo scoops up the drop. Well then, he figures, let's test it, and rips a spinning wave of blades through what's left of the trolls. Few he breathes, surveying the wreckage. Turning that trick into a real skill made it noticeably sharper. Time to check the haul, and his demonic energy stat climbs by 3 to 27. He just dumped every magic stone he had into it, so a gain that small stops him cold. Wrapped in dark energy, Kang-woo figures he's leveling at a decent clip. Only 4 more bosses stand between him and his next awakening, so he decides to hunt a little longer before heading back. Meanwhile, the hunter party finally reaches the boss chamber and finds nothing. No monster, no corpses, just scattered troll tracks and a lot of confused guessing. The hunters call it quits, already blaming each other for the wasted trip, while Kang-woo quietly counts himself lucky nobody noticed the boss is already dead. Back in the city, that same party corners him, demanding he pay them back for their lost time. Silence, he snaps, and something huge and shadowed rises up behind him. The scene shifts to a packed crowd of players, grumbling about why they've been called out. Then someone spots him, the commander of H-Warring Corps Unit 3, Beak Kang-hyun, standing above the crowd. He calls for quiet and drops the real reason, reports of KAO operatives showing up at D-rank gates, so random inspections start now. KAO player Kang-woo repeats to himself, remembering the rumors, and goes quiet, eyes flicking red as the inspection line starts moving. A silver-haired player gets pulled aside first, told to show her player card, and her face tightens as she prays under her breath, I hope I haven't been caught. Her name flashes up, Terrapin. Kang-woo stands in the inspection line, more worried about the core agents he's already dodged than the search itself. His eyes land on Beak Kang-hyun, running today's sweep for KAO infiltrators personally, and he writes off any thought of pushing past someone that strong. Then an officer plants a hand on him, show me your player card. He hands it over and it clears him instantly. Relieved, Kang-woo can't resist needling Kang-hyun for running the line herself instead of delegating, and calls her cool to her face. She doesn't deny it, KAO's already making moves, which is exactly why she's out here checking every card herself today. Kang-woo offers to report any suspected KAO player himself, an offer Kang-hyun turns down flat. That's her unit's job. She spots Han Seola's brand new C-rank tag and warns him to keep her leveling in D-rank gates for safety. Kang-woo agrees, joking that more players like him would actually be trouble for her. Relieved the inspection missed him, Kang-woo heads home and tells Kang Tae-soo, the boisterous party leader, they should catch up soon. Days later they do, meeting at an outdoor cafe where Han Seola, the healer he once saved, introduces herself properly this time as the healer Tae-soo's been talking up. Tae-soo teases the two of them as a couple, brother-in-law jokes and all, before getting to business. He wants Kang-woo to take Seola hunting through D-rank gates since she just awakened a rare ability. Flustered, she explains anyway, blessing of light heals or buffs strength and stamina, just never both at once. Tae-soo raves that a healer who can buff and fight herself is rare, then swears off joining any guild. He'd rather build a crew with Kang-woo instead. He chugs iced coffee like it's beer for a laugh, then turns serious. He's got 2 freshly awakened players in mind for their next recruit, too talented to still be guildless. Tae-soo shrugs off the doubt. Years as a bodyguard taught him to trust his read on people, and offers to introduce the recruits before tomorrow's hunt. Seola's happy to vouch for anyone Kang-woo already knows. Tae-soo sets the meet up and swaps targets, skip the Lizardman gate after its recent incident, hit the fresh troll gate instead, tougher but faster growth. Tae-soo calls Kang-woo the sharpest partner he could ask for, then bails to run errands before tomorrow. Seola watches him go, confused. Left alone, Kang-woo's eyes flare demonic red as the screen cuts to black on two blunt words, leveling up. Kang-woo runs the math in his head, level 29, one push from his fourth awakening. He looks at what's left of them and asks if they're ready to begin. Demonic power crackles through the pit as 8 of them drop screaming off the cliff below. He straightens up, bloodied, breath ragged, and mutters he still doesn't know how many more he has to kill. Something stops him cold. He catches a scent, and it isn't the usual reek of monsters, it's human blood. Kang-woo tracks it across the rock formations, and the volume tells him at least 6 people are dead. A C-rank party wiped out instantly, with no field boss due, points straight at KAO. He finds them. They're all dead. Kang-woo mutters that even the demons he once commanded had more discipline than whoever did this. The scent is still fresh, so the killer has to be close. Then his face goes slack with shock. A monstrous shape claws up out of the ground, and the reveal lands hard. A hellhound, a demon straight out of the 9 hells, snarling on earth where it has no business being. The title card barely settles before the hellhound closes the distance and slams into him. Kang-woo curses and throws himself clear as the beast's charge tears up the ground where he just stood, the 2 of them trading a first vicious exchange. Kang-woo grits his teeth. This thing is brutal to even scratch. He answers with everything he's got, a blast of fire tearing through the battlefield in one huge eruption. The explosion swallows the hellhound whole, and when the smoke clears, it's still standing, roaring louder and angrier than before. His blade barely marks the thing. Kang-woo decides steel isn't the answer here and switches it up, calling on the power of the dark spear, a blue demonic energy that comes off him like a lance and drives straight for the hellhound. The spear connects and the hellhound roars back in pain, rubble settling around them. Kang-woo crouches, catches something, and mutters that he's got it, then blurts out loud what he clearly wasn't supposed to say. Remember this, because it just cost him his cover. Behind him, the hellhound is already back up and coming for another pass. The hellhound comes in hot and Kang-woo dodges, hunting for an opening instead of trading blows. The second it overextends, he calls it now and slams both hands into the ground. Power of Earth erupts, a demonic skill built to answer brute force with brute force. The hellhound doesn't slow down. It comes in swinging and Kang-woo meets it head-on, blade cutting through the dust. He lands a clean hit, dark energy tearing through hide and bone, but the payback comes just as hard. He goes down coughing blood, and the beast is already charging again. Kang-woo answers with everything he's got, a blast that sends the hellhound tumbling across the sand. He's on his hands and knees after it, blood dripping, eyes still locked and burning. The hound claws back up like nothing happened. It just keeps getting back up. Of course it's still standing, Kang-woo admits to himself. He's still got a long way to go, and this thing is proving it. The hellhound squares up again across the sand. Here it comes, he thinks, and meets the charge with a wall of red fire roaring skyward. You're just a mutt that doesn't know its place. Kang-woo snaps and unleashes the demon Baphomet's power of 1,000, a flood of strikes ripping into the hound in an instant. The blast rocks the whole ridge. He grits his teeth through the backlash, still not done with it. The hellhound screams, a raw, ear-splitting shriek as the hits land. Kang-woo's already airborne, blade trailing light as he comes down on the finishing cut. Dust rolls off the ridge as the beast crashes down. When it clears, Kang-woo's just standing there, still breathing, still standing. He's grateful now for every demon he ground down back in hell. It means even at his current level he can handle this. He goads it into one more lunge, that stubborn son of a bitch, and it finally drops. The system floods in, crack fragment defeated, experience surging, level jumping 5 straight to level 30. Fourth awakening unlocked. Cracks fragment, he repeats, turning the word over. He's heard core crack before, some term for things that leak out of hell, but how it got to Earth still doesn't add up. No clean answers, so he lets it go and checks the rest of his notifications. Fourth awakening, rank A, ruler of demonic energy, letting him wield his power more naturally and hide it completely from everyone else. When shall I eat to my heart's content? Kang-woo grins and turns gluttony loose on the corpse. Dark power floods into him in a churning purple storm. If this keeps up, he thinks, he might end up stronger than he ever was ruling the myriad demon palace. Leveling up had the answer all along. Kang-woo wraps up a gate run, lets out a sigh, and figures it's time to head home after a good day's work. A voice stops him cold. He turns to find a masked, red-haired stranger waiting in the alley behind him. She says, "Long time no see," and he has no clue who she is. He privately admits they've never actually met. She introduces herself as Cha Yeonju, Guild Master of Red Rose, one of Korea's Big Five alongside Mir, Omnu, Hanul, and Sanri. Kang-woo, unimpressed, asks flatly what the Red Rose Guild Master could possibly want with him. Her answer, she's been digging into his past. Yeonju lays it out. Kang-woo, born in 1999, raised in an orphanage with no adoption on record, then vanished for 5 years before registering as a player just 3 weeks ago. His test read F rank, yet he's already soloing C rank gates. The math doesn't add up, and she knows it. She drops her trump card, his own fingerprints pulled through Red Rose's suspiciously deep access. No stolen identity, she confirms, just a monster hiding behind a weak facade. Her verdict, his talent might top beat Kang-hyun, another of Korea's top-ranked aces. Kang-woo shrugs off the praise and asks what she's actually after. Yeonju says it plainly, she wants to sponsor him, backed by her authority as Red Rose's guild master. Not recruit, sponsor. She won't hand a guild slot to someone hiding behind an F-rank mask, but she'll bankroll him anyway. Translation, straight cash to help him level up faster. Half joking, Kang-woo asks if this is payback from a game they once played, and his temper flares hot enough to nearly blow his cover before he catches himself. Yeonju laughs it off, grumbling about her own terrible teammates, then turns serious. She's investing in him because he's only getting stronger. She spells out the deal: a temporary A-rank gate pass with no level restrictions, guild backup for parties, tax breaks on magic stone sales, and free loaner gear up through epic rank, even a house and a car if he needs them. Kang-woo's hooked, then catches himself wondering what the catch is. Yeonju admits it, nothing here is free, the guild will call in favors down the line. Kang-woo presses for what job she's actually angling toward, but she won't say yet, just that it's a long story. He lets it go, on one condition: he can walk if the ask turns out ridiculous. Kang-woo reaches out and shakes on it. Cha Yeonju's offer, the A-rank pass, the gear, the guild backing, all of it, in exchange for a favor she still won't name. He weighs it fast, too good to pass up, and if her ask turns out ugly, he can always walk. The deal is sealed. Yeonju calls it a good choice, then pushes. When does he spill on the commission? When the time comes, Kang-woo says, needling her that she couldn't do a thing about it anyway at her level. She bristles. He lets one line slip anyway. He's stronger than she thinks. Way stronger. She doesn't know the half of it. Yeonju swats down his ego a notch. His strength isn't why she's staying quiet. It's that Red Rose doesn't have hard evidence yet on whatever this commission actually is. She trades numbers with him instead and offers to swing by for the promised gear right now. He takes her up on it immediately. He needs every edge he can get to keep climbing. Cut to the street, a father and son gawk at a Porsche 918 Spider rolling past, the kid begging his dad to buy one someday. Yeonju pulls up in that exact car and waves Kang-woo in. He stares, stunned, then asks the obvious question: how much did this cost her? 10 million won, maybe, he guesses, and he's not close. She jokes that the guild will buy him one too if he ever wants it. Then he tries out Nuna on her, and she flusters, snapping at him to keep his eyes on the road, not on her. She calls him petty for a rancor. He fires back that she has no idea how many mouths he has to feed and drops the teasing. Then the car banks toward a massive black and crimson tower knifing into the skyline. We're here, Yeonju says. This is my guild house. Kang-woo just stares. It's bigger than the player support center. Guards straighten up as they walk in. A blonde staffer in white greets Kang-woo warmly. Park Hyun-woo, team leader of Red Rose's personnel management. Kang-woo gives his name back, then stops cold. Behind Hyun-woo stands a scarred, hulking man Yeonju introduces as the commander-in-chief, Moon Yeon-ho, and he's already glaring straight at Kang-woo. Kang-woo can't figure out why the commander-in-chief is glaring at him like that. Hyun-woo breaks the tension, thanking him for accepting the guild's offer and joking he'd take a good deal even laced with poison. He offers to escort Kang-woo to the equipment room himself, but before they move, Yeon-ho's stare lingers and Yeonju notices. That man, she starts and stops. Moon Yeon-ho, Red Rose's scarred commander-in-chief, wants to size Kang-woo up himself, see what kind of human he really is. Yeonju waves him along. The elevator drops down to the guild's item storage floor, doors sliding open on a vault of gear. Yeonju lays out the deal. She can't hand him whatever he wants, but epic rank equipment is fair game to borrow. The case in front of them holds unique rank gear, his to borrow against a deposit. Kang-woo pushes further. Any legendary or mythic pieces back here? No, she says, those never sit in storage. The guild's actively using them. Does she personally own anything above legendary? She does. The deposit on that one's 50 million won, already a steep discount. Kang-woo can't touch it. Kang-woo shrugs it off, figures he'll just look at the epic gear instead. That's when Yonho ignites, dark energy crawling up his frame, and snarls that Kang-woo needs to use honorifics. Kang-woo just blinks, thrown by the sudden switch. Use honorifics, Yonho repeats, teeth grinding when you're speaking to the guild master. Yonho's face twists tighter, fury barely leashed, waiting on an answer. Kang-woo doesn't flinch. Flat, unbothered, he gives it to him straight, I don't want to. That answer breaks him. Yonho roars and swings, a blade wrapped in bloody energy crashing down at Kang-woo's head. Yeonju screams his name and the strike stops cold. She rounds on her own commander, demanding to know exactly what he thinks he's doing. He starts to answer. She cuts him off with a shout. Yeonju shuts it down flat. Whether this brat's a problem is her call, not his, so back off. Yonho swallows it. Understood, guild master. She turns the same warning on Kang-woo. Stop provoking him or you'll end up disabled. He waves her off. Fine, fine, quietly impressed the guy's this loyal. Then, casual as ever, he asks to borrow a piece of unique gear and calls her Nuna doing it. Yeonju's actually considering it, says she'll clear it through an internal meeting first. Yonho freezes on one word, Nuna. Did he seriously just call her Nuna? The insult detonates him and he charges again, blade screaming with energy. Kang-woo answers with a blast of blue light that stops the strike dead. Kang-woo dodges clear, people scattering out of the blast radius, and clocks something off about Yonho. This isn't raw power, it's control gone missing, like the guy can't rein himself in once he's lit. Yonho starts to protest to his own guild master, gets cut off by his own explosion. Yeonju steps in ice cold, get out of her sight, cross the line again and he will be disciplined, start acting like the commander-in-chief he's titled. Chastened, he apologizes. Park Hyunwoo brushes off the earlier scuffle with a quick apology. Kang-woo waves it away. Talk turns to gear and Kang-woo just wants something light, nothing fancy. Moon Yonghoo, the guild's prickly commander, hears armor and dangles his own unique rank set. Beat me in a duel and it's yours. Yeonju shouts his name in warning. Kang-woo's eyes flare red. He's not backing down. Yeonju throws up a hand, then reconsiders. Fine, a sparring match. In her head she runs the math. Yonghoo is level 67, already broke through the wall of instinct on his second awakening, sharpened further on his fourth. Kang-woo's talent might be huge, but he isn't at that level yet. She tells Yonghoo to knock it off. Kang-woo just says it's fine. Kang-woo figures if Yonghoo's offering free gear, he might as well take the deal. Yeonju backs him, vowing this will teach the guild master a lesson in respect, and the room goes quiet, someone asking who she even means. Yonghoo's face goes purple with rage, sputtering, while onlookers just snicker. Hey, free unique gear is free unique gear. They square off in the guild's training room. Yonghoo waves off the warnings, says this'll be quick, and offers Kang-woo a free opening. 3 full seconds, hit me with everything. Kang-woo just stares back, unbothered. Whatever this guy's fought before, it clearly wasn't anything real. Yonghoo sneers, tells him to quit posturing, says he won't even bother going full strength on a brat like this. Kang-woo just smiles at that. Fine then. He calls up the power of speed, one of the demons he devoured in hell, and the math just changed. He's already inside Yonghoo's guard before the blade clears its sheath. The hit lands and Yonghoo's blown clean off his feet, slamming into the far wall hard enough to crack it. He drags himself up choking, blood in his mouth, and admits it out loud. If it weren't for this armor, that hit ends the fight right there. The room goes dead silent. Impossible, someone breathes. A player barely 3 weeks old just did that. Kang-woo grins back, eyes flashing red under the cap. I thought you said I got the first 3 seconds, he says. Here's where it gets stupid, the good kind. Yonghoo's pinned, sword locked, demanding to know what he just did. Simple, Kang-woo says, I'm stronger than you. Yonghoo spits back that it's bullshit, that no 3-week player hits like that, and Kang-woo just laughs in his face, calling him a sore loser dressed up as an insult. Someone shouts for him to stop. Kang-woo doesn't. You filthy peasant, he says. Pinned to the floor, Yonghoo spits, you bastard, through gritted teeth. Yeonju watches from the side, tense. She can't let this spiral out in public. Yonghoo breaks loose and unloads everything into one strike, the blade of unreserved slaughter. It slams home, and Kang-woo just shrugs it off, red eyes flaring as he sneers, hey, do you think that's cool or something? Kang-woo taunts. Yonghoo howls back, shut up, and charges in swinging, buffed and desperate. Kang-woo eats the hit without flinching, then thinks it over. This man still runs one of the big 5, he's not weak, but there's no reason to hold back anymore. Red claws of the power of shadow bloom from his hand. Then, shall I get started? Yonghoo screams and lunges again, and Kang-woo answers with the power of shadow, crimson spikes erupting like veins tearing through the floor. A skull-shaped shadow looms over the room. Yeonju cries out his name in shock. Onlookers scream for it to stop, calling him an idiot who's lost all sense. The shadow surges once more and drops Yonghoo to the ground, dazed. "What's wrong with me now?" he mutters. "You've lost, fucker," Kang-woo says flatly. He raises a hand and the power of shockwave detonates, a wall of blue force that sends Yonghoo flying clean across the room in a shower of debris. He hits the ground and doesn't get up. Yeonju walks over to the wreckage, unshaken. "Didn't I tell you?" she says. "I'm much, much stronger than you think," Kang-woo grins. Yeonju apologizes afterward. Yonghoo's getting kicked out of the guild and she's warning everyone else so it never happens again. "Shit happens," she shrugs, "it's fine." Then Kang-woo checks his reward, the Darganile armor, unique rank, massive defense stats, and a rare effect that halves debuff duration. Not bad at all. Yeonju reflects that Yonghoo went as far as challenging his own guild master. Unbelievable. She warns Kang-woo if something like this happens again, she'll reconsider their partnership, but promises every Red Rose member will treat him with respect from now on. Kang-woo says the Darganile armor doesn't fit right, so he hands it back for their smith to refit. Deal struck, they part ways. "Don't forget the requirements," he calls after her. Yeonju walks off shaken. Is that guy even human, she wonders. Yonghoo's no pushover, so how does a 3-week-old player just beat him like that? At this rate, she thinks he could actually become a world ranker, one of the top 8 players alive, a title nobody from Korea currently holds. Even rumors of a homegrown contender never worried her before, but if it's Kang-woo, she turns. Did Mr. Kang-woo already leave? Yeah, he just left, someone confirms, and the Darganile armor is Kang-woo's now. Staff murmur about Yonghoo needing a hospital and the whole guild getting called in tomorrow. A blonde aide tells Yeonju not to blame herself, they just need to make sure it never happens again. Then he drops real news: the government has finally planted a spy inside the demonic religion. Find out more, Yeonju orders with far more detail. A status card flickers up, Terrapin. What? Kang-woo pulls up his status window to check the damage. Level 34, 4th Awakening, and his demonic energy stat sits at 53, the number that scales everything else on the sheet. Strength and stamina both ride along with it. Intelligence and wisdom stay flat at the bottom, useless when your magic stat reads 0. Here's the catch: the higher demonic energy climbs, the less efficiently his level can actually process it. Diminishing returns, plain math. At level 30, the system can't take in a stat that's already grown this far past it. Kang-woo's fine with that. There's still runway before his 5th Awakening. Time to go track down Ciala and Tisu. Meanwhile, at East Incheon Gate, Tisu's crew spots him and starts shouting him over. Kang-woo walks in relaxed, greeted like family, and Tisu confirms the job's done. Then comes the introduction, a handsome new face, and Tisu grins. This little brat here. Kang-woo just says hello. Someone in the crowd practically melts on the spot. The brat fires back at the masked guy beside her, calling him a 40-year-old before he can even finish mocking her. Then a pink-haired girl practically tackles Kang-woo with compliments, gushing over how good he looks and begging for selfies to show off later. Once the chaos settles, the real handshake, Kim Si-hoon, level 12, freshly landed an A-rank ability on his 2nd Awakening. Sunbi, it turns out, is the mage of the group, a B-rank talent good enough to be genuinely useful. Kang-woo sizes the whole roster up and Tisu asks straight out if he trusts them. He hesitates. He's been burned by a party before, some grinning lunatic who called the betrayal fate. This crew feels different. Tisu swears he's got an eye for people. The pitch lands, a tank ranged and melee damage, a healer who can purify on the fly, plus 2 more A-rank 2nd Awakeners rounding out the roster. This isn't a casual hunting party, it's a stacked hard carry lineup built to actually clear content. Kang-woo decides to tag along for today's hunt. Ciala just beams, telling him loudly that she trusts him completely. At the gate, Kang-woo lays down the plan: watch, don't carry. Let this crew prove what they've got unless things turn dangerous. He wants to see their real potential, not smother it. Then the goblins hit, a whole pack of them, screeching and closing in through the trees, and someone's blade is already coming down red. One goblin cackles like it just won something, right before Sunbi's lightning shock arcs through the pack. Someone shouts for Tisu. 5 more goblins are closing in from behind, and the crew pivots fast. A blade lands clean, gotcha. The fight turns into a full brawl, everyone finally proving what they've got. The hulking troll bellows over here, and lightning shock rips out of the sky, blue bolts chaining into it as it screeches, Chiek. Tisu grins into its face, fist crackling black. Now, come at me. Sunbi answers with Spirit of Light, a golden blast that rocks the beast back, and Tisu laughs, thanking his sister-in-law for the save. The blast sends the rest of the party staggering back, but Si-hoon pushes through alone. Blade lit gold, he roars Hayap once then again, hammering the monster with strike after strike, trading blows with something built to kill him. The last goblins shriek as lightning shock cuts them down, the whole party piling in until one monster lets out a dying kiek. Someone turns to Tisu floored. Did you train Sihun in swordsmanship before he became a player? Just a hobby, Tisu shrugs. Then all eyes turn to Kang-woo. Isn't everyone amazing? Kang-woo says nothing, and the silence stretches long enough that Ciala has to check on him. Brother. Then he turns it around on all of them. First of all, he says, let me point out a few things to fix. Every step he takes away from them suddenly feels a lot less friendly. He starts with Tisu, great instincts, but he burns his strength on every swing instead of saving it for real threats. A tank's job is just to eat hits and redirect them. Kang-woo says, so what happens when an actual boss shows up? Then Ciala, smart to buff Tisu, smart to shield herself after, but a healer shouldn't add more attention on herself by fighting. Sunbi flinches, already apologizing, but Kang-woo waves it off. We just fix it step by step. His actual note, she panicked and dumped a full power spell on weak fallen monsters when a cheap jolt of lightning would have dropped them for free, so save the firepower. Sihun's the main damage dealer, she's backup. Then Sihun gets the opposite verdict, nothing to fix, he's playing his role perfectly right now. Ciala can't get over it, he's incredible, and it's not like he's got 10,000 years of experience. Unlike her, is he just a genius? Tisu tells Sihun he's way more impressive than expected. Kang-woo, watching, privately calls him an unrefined gem, wondering how strong he'll get. Let's push deeper in, he says. We'll do better this time, brother, Ciala promises. Yeah, just working what I told you. They dive back in, lightning and blades tearing into the next monster as it roars back. Kang-woo watches the scrum. Oh ho, everyone's stepping up, even Sihun. Ciala lets out a relieved breath. Keep this up, he thinks, and they could hit C-rank gates in a month. Tisu grins. Didn't we improve, brother? Kang-woo allows. It's not too bad. Somebody groans. You're way too stingy with compliments. Tisu's still riding the high, telling Kang-woo the whole party's leveled up because of him when the smile drops. Something huge crashes through the canopy, teeth first, fur white as bone, eyes burning red. Not a troll, a demon wolf dropping straight into the middle of the party. Sihun doesn't wait for orders, he's already airborne, blade lit gold as he crashes into the wolf's guard. Someone curses, another demonic monster, seriously. Kang-woo just watches with a flat, unreadable stare, then he moves too, blue light trailing his own strike as he closes in. Someone screams for the party to fall back as a spread of jagged white spikes tears into the wolf, buying a second of room. It's not enough on its own. Kang-woo dives in himself, blue aura shrieking around his blade, and the party can only shout his name as he commits to the strike. The combined assault finally breaks the wolf's guard, one of Kang-woo's demonic powers flaring as he finishes it. It drops. The system confirms the kill, a D-rank cracks fragment down, and Kang-woo's level ticks up. He checks on a shaken teammate. Can you stand? Haha, yeah, thanks Kang-woo. The party checks on each other, ribbing Kang-woo for one-shotting a demon outright, then turning to gush over Sihun's blade work. Sihun waves it off, just his second awakening, nothing special. Kang-woo isn't buying it. Watching him, he thinks, no special ability behind that swordsmanship, and he still fights like this. That's not talent, that's something else. Curious, Kang-woo quietly triggers Ruler of Demonic Energy, and his stolen sight peels back Sihun's status window. First awakening, descendant of the martial arts god. Second, Sword Kai manifestation, both already rank A. Then a third awakening entry unlocks past level 20 and his eyes go wide. What the hell kind of backstory is this kid hiding? Kang-woo doesn't say a word, the verdict just hangs there over Sihun's face. This kid isn't just strong, he's built like a main character, an inherent class tied to a literal martial arts god, chosen to become the world's protector. That kind of power shouldn't exist on some random player. Kang-woo turns cold, weighing it. An existence like that could threaten him someday. But he's not about to burn a gem this raw, better to build trust, back him fully, and watch. He can't predict when a destined protector might turn. Still, Sihun just nearly died protecting Tisu for nothing in return. Maybe he isn't the type to turn on anyone. The party sizes Kang-woo up, some calling him chivalrous, others just call him a loner, while in his head he laughs it off. Nobody actually knows what he really is. He waves off any injury and the group moves on to the real mystery, why a monster like that ever showed up in a low-rank gate, before turning to praise Kim Sihun's swordsmanship and check on their recovering teammate. Someone asks Sihun if he has any ties to the Mir Guild. He brushes it off, crediting Kang-woo for how much better he already feels and thanking him again. The group keeps gushing over Sihun pulling off swordsmanship like that on just a second awakening, wondering out loud if Mir's leadership is already circling him. The night winds down, Kang-woo waving off questions about his own past as complicated while apologizing for prying into Sehun's. The party agrees to regroup at the gate tomorrow, and Tisu loudly vows to spend the day befriending Kang-woo before everyone splits off into the dark. Walking Han Seala home through the city at night, Kang-woo gets pulled away by a sudden call. He tells her to eat without him since he might run late, and she agrees to keep his dinner warm. Alone now, he admits to himself he wanted a quiet night in, but it can't be helped. Kang-woo's face goes red-eyed and sharp. Let's begin. Across town, Sehun waits alone at a night bus stop, sighing over his phone, a message about the Mir Guild lit up on the screen. Kang-woo steps up behind him unannounced, says he needs to talk about something important, somewhere private. Sehun, uneasy, agrees. Barely a step into the alley, Sehun asks what this is about, and Kang-woo answers by driving a demonic surge straight through him. Sehun convulses, gasping, completely helpless against it. Kang-woo tells him flatly he's taking out an insurance policy, and that what's about to happen will only make him stronger than every other hunter alive. The system spells it out cold, power of subordination, dark tendrils locking around Sehun's collapsing body as he begs him to stop. Kang-woo tells him gently not to worry, he won't remember any of this, he'll just wake up feeling better than ever. The same promise he's made before, right before he broke someone else the same way. Kang-woo lays it out. Sehun will join him and Tisu to build the strongest party there's ever been, and as his subordinate, he can even borrow a slice of Kang-woo's own power without it costing his growth. Sehun chokes out one broken sound before the Demon King leans in, murmuring that the two of them are about to become very good comrades indeed. Kim Sehun jolts awake alone in the dark, disoriented. His phone reads 8 o'clock. He remembers boarding a bus an hour ago, then nothing. He blacked out completely and can't explain why. Shaken, he grits his teeth. He's still too weak, and he's got a long way to go before that changes. Elsewhere, Terrapin stares up at a towering white-haired stranger and freezes, recognizing him as Kim Young-hoon, the Vice-Guild Master of Mir, someone far above his own level. Terrapin's face twists with rage. He needs to get stronger, because someday his blade is finding that bastard's throat. A system ping confirms it. Power of subordination worked. Kim Sehun is now his subordinate. Asked if he wants to issue a command, Kang-woo says later, admitting to himself he acted on impulse. He's not here to control Sehun yet, just insurance, banking on Sehun's strength one day rivaling Baphomet's. Alone on the street, Kang-woo silently vows to back Sehun's growth from the shadows. Then something catches his eye. Cho Deokhyun, the guild master he once broke. Deokhyun reports a demonic trace at a gate near Uijeongbu made by a monster, not a cultist. Kang-woo's read is instant. Another demon has slipped through. Kang-woo weighs it. This B-rank gate might hold something stronger than the Hellhound, a predator straight out of the second hell. If he takes it down, his fifth awakening could come sooner than planned. He reaches the gate just as its doors grind open in front of him. Kang-woo realizes he really needs a car, then reaches the gate to find a crowd of hunters locked out. Guards explain an unidentified monster mutation is loose inside, so entry is frozen no matter what party you're with. Angry civilians press for answers, but officials admit 10 players still haven't come back out. The crowd churns with rumors. 10 dead at one B-rank gate is brutal, way above normal. Kang-woo stays quiet, already certain this isn't a mutation, it's a demon nesting inside. He presses the officials until one slips. Whatever it is, it resembles a lion. Kang-woo's blood runs cold, a Buer. Buer, one of the second hell's deadliest predators. 5 legs, a lion's build, and a trait called full stomach. It stops killing the moment it's eaten 5 victims in a day. 10 dead in 2 days means it's been feeding right on schedule. Kang-woo shrugs it off. Feed it 5 monsters, let it get full and lazy, then finish it. Kang-woo pushes through a crowd of players, phone to his ear, and calls in a favor from Cha Yeonju, the Red Rose Ace. He needs government clearance into the locked B-rank gate at Uijeongbu, and he needs it now. She grumbles about the cost, threatens to make him pay for it later, but agrees to set it up. At the gate checkpoint, officials confirm Yeonju's vouch and grant Kang-woo entry, deputizing him as an official investigator of the mutant monster loose inside. If he ends up killing it, he's required to report everything he learns. He agrees without hesitation. Reporters spot the Red Rose connection, and someone shouts for him to wait. A towering rival player, Kim Young-hoon, sizes Kang-woo up, 3 months as a player and already walking into B-rank gates. He clocks the Darganile armor as proof Red Rose is sponsoring him, then needles him about running without a party. Kang-woo just shrugs it off. He prefers working alone. Young-hoon corners Terrapin, a jittery fellow player, reminding him he's already the talk of the town and won't survive the raid without help. Terrapin begs to tag along with another party, gets shut down cold, every slot already filled, and finally admits, humiliated, that he's too scared to go in on his own. Kang-woo turns to the gathered party and asks them to enter together, then silently counts heads, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inside his mind the tally is grim. He needs exactly 5 bodies to bring the Buer to full stomach. He counts a 6th, notes one is left over, and calmly says it's time to move. Backstage, Mir handlers push Young-hoon to humiliate the Red Rose rookie in front of the cameras, and never forget Mir outranks Red Rose. But when Kang-woo simply agrees to team up, refusing now would make Young-hoon the villain on camera, so he grits his teeth and accepts. The crowd gawks, stunned 2 rival guilds are cooperating. The headline writes itself, 2 guilds joining forces to hunt the mutated monster. Young-hoon warns this truce is strictly one time, there won't be a second. The merged party steps through the gate together, Kang-woo proposing they combine strength against the Buer, while someone in the ranks scoffs at the whole spectacle. Onlookers whisper that Kang-woo's pull with Yeonju must explain the truce, then gush about Young-hoon instead, handsome, talented, the son in the only guild built around an awakened father and son. His father, Guild Master Kim Yi-hyun, turned Mir Electronics money into founding the Mir Guild after they awakened together. Kang-woo just turns the name over quietly. Kang-woo listens to the mockery and lets his mind run cold calculations. He could crush both guilds right now and pick up the pieces after. But no, he's gained enough already, and Cha Yeonju still has use left in her, a goose that keeps laying golden eggs. Then a voice snaps him back, where's that mutated monster? Behind him, Mir's hunters snicker that they've wandered around blind while Kang-woo hasn't noticed a thing, calling him a clueless dumbass and laughing at Red Rose's ruin. One pities Cha Yeonju out loud. Kang-woo stays silent, just a private promise forming, I should slowly. Someone mutters Red Rose will disband soon before the talk snaps back to the hunt. Kang-woo zeroes in on something pulsing behind a nearby wall, a relic that hasn't grown to full strength yet. What a find, he thinks, and decides to start. He triggers the power of temptation, and the whole party suddenly catches a rich, almost perfumed scent hanging in the air. Everyone goes quiet, confused. The scent works as bait, heavier footprints close and fast, nothing like an ordinary monster, and Kang-woo calls the party into formation as the mutated beast crashes through. In the panic, one hunter mocks another for tempting fate with a boast, and a snarling voice promises that bastards like them are bound to die screaming. The beast slams into the group, and for a moment it's pure chaos, claws and screams and blue energy crackling off its hide. Then a chillingly calm voice cuts through the noise. First one. Let's start with one, everyone focus. The real fight begins. A mage screams for everyone to hold formation and lets loose, slamming a bolt of raw lightning straight into the beast's skull. It staggers under the hit, but someone in the line coughs up blood, and a voice barks for everyone to stay in position before the fight can fall apart. A fist cracks into the beast as its claws rake back across the line. Kang-woo clocks the damage quietly, that's 2. Whatever tally he's keeping, it's climbing. Someone curses and calls to prepare for rapid fire as the beast turns furious for another pass. A massive spike of crackling energy rips downward, and a voice screams now as it connects. Attack, someone else yells, and the follow-up lands clean, a figure in red slamming hard into the ground, blood spraying, as the beast's onslaught finally starts to break. A full power strike lands square on Buer and does nothing. The demon doesn't even flinch, it just keeps coming, and the party's fighters go down one after another, screaming for help while somebody grimly counts the losses. 3, 4, a voice cracks over the panic, stay in position. Then one fighter decides this next hit is the last one they've got. That fighter throws everything into one blow, a blade strike wrapped in raw lightning tearing down through Buer's frame. Attack, single, flash, it's the kind of hit that should end a fight this size, and for 1 second it actually looks like it might have worked. Buer barely grunts, that finishing blow didn't do a damn thing, and the demon just shakes it off. Off to the side, Kang-woo isn't worried. He's grinning, quietly counting under his breath. 5, because he already knows something nobody else in this fight has figured out yet. And just like that, Buer stops. Mid-swing, mid-rampage, it goes still, and the party stares in stunned silence with no idea why the monster steamrolling them a second ago just switched off. Kang-woo already has the answer. 5 kills a day is the limit. feed it a fifth victim and it goes docile, no matter how hard you hit it. Here's the mechanic nobody else caught. Once Buer hits full stomach, it won't lift a claw unless something attacks it first. All that desperate all-out damage was never the answer. So Kang-woo skips the theatrics and fuses two demonic powers at once, the Dark Spear and Hellfire, lining up a strike built to end this in exactly one shot. The fused attack lands as pure overkill, fire and blue-black lightning twisting into a single spear the system names on the spot. Skill acquired, Bident rank 5. The math just changed the second those two powers touched. Buer roars, thrashing through the blast, and then the whole thing ends in one last detonation. The system confirms it. B-rank cracks fragment, defeated. Kang-woo lets out a breath, phew, and the numbers roll in, his level jumping 6 in a single kill. Then the pings really start stacking up, level 46. His demonic energy stat unlocks and rockets to 65, tripping the first condition for something called extreme demonic delay, the opening stage toward becoming a demon god. Kang-woo's never heard of it, and he spent 10,000 years in hell. If this keeps paying off, he might climb higher than he ever did as Demon King. Kang-woo tears into the corpse with gluttony, and the system pings again, demonic energy up another 4 points. He's stunned at still climbing this far past 60. Before he can process it, he catches a flicker at the edge of his vision, one more threat still standing. Then something connects, and blood sprays from his face. Kang-woo slams the attacker to the ground, blade at his throat, and it's not a monster, it's his own party member. The man swears he'd never turn on his team, insists something took him over. Kang-woo just smiles and asks who put him up to it. No stray hunter turns on his squad for no reason. The standoff breaks into another burst of violence before the man finally cracks. He gives up a name, Kim Young-hoon. Kang-woo turns to a red-haired teammate nearby, and her face changes the second she hears it. She already knows exactly who that is, and it's not a good sign. It's guild politics. Young-hoon wants Mir Guild looking dominant over Red Rose, so he sent this man to pick a fight and make the guild look strong. Kang-woo just stares, unimpressed by something so petty. He flips through a photo of the mastermind, unbothered, then turns back on his captive. Following orders is one excuse, enjoying it isn't. Kang-woo doesn't kill him, play the part well, he says, and there's no problem. The terrified man swears he'll do anything asked. It sounds like mercy. It isn't. Then the gate splits open. Reporters swarm as two survivors step out, Kang Sung-soo, the party member Kang-woo just broke, and Kang-woo himself. The crowd loses it. They're alive. Cameras crowd in and someone calls for an ambulance the second they see Sung-soo's face. Kang-woo tells it straight. The monster hit them mid-fight and it hit everyone. Sung-soo and Kang-woo are the only ones who walked out. The rest of the party is gone. The crowd reels. Someone pushes to loop the media in further, and Kang-woo shuts it down flat. Kang-woo deflects every bit of credit. The hero who saved him and killed the mutated monster, he says, is Sung-soo. The crowd eats it up and begs for details, and Sung-soo obliges. The moment they stepped into the dungeon, he says, they felt raw murderous intent radiating off something already circling the gate. This thing had no business spawning from a B-rank gate. The cover story keeps building. They talked about running, Sung-soo says, but he refused to let the monster loose on civilians, so they fought. It matched the government's warning exactly, a lion's head, 5 legs, and it wiped the rest of the party out in an instant. Sung-soo told him to run and hide. Kang-woo says he couldn't leave, so he stayed and watched Sung-soo win it alone. In a hospital room, a Mir Guild aide stops Kang-woo before he can speak to Kang Sung-soo, the party member propped up as the fight's hero, now unconscious in the bed. She frames his earlier hostility as protection, not malice. Kang-woo says nothing, wondering, my savior. Breaking news behind them hails Sung-soo as the true hero, then reports he's slipped into a vegetative coma. Across the city, Cha Yeonju, the ace of Red Rose, scrolls the same story and doesn't buy it. Those wounds came from a person, not a monster. Over drinks, Young Hyungju, the Sanary Guild master, teases her about the striking new rookie she's found. The two needle each other before landing on the real question. Is this mutation the demonic religion's doing again? Yeonju admits the cult's sacrifices keep getting bolder, and if the public ever learns it's feeding real humans to a demon, the panic could break the country. Firelit tea swirls in her cup while a shadow looms behind her thoughts. Then the door opens. Kang-woo walks in mid-visit, and Yeonju's guest, caught off guard, excuses himself fast. The guest bows out, calling Yeonju my lady one last time as she waves him off. Alone with Kang-woo, she doesn't stall. Who is that, he asks. Just business, she says. Then she hands him something instead. Here, take this. Whatever it is, it's the real reason she called him over tonight. Yeonju checks her phone, surprised the news traveled faster than she expected. Kang-woo warns her off hunting wherever it leaked from. She admits she already heard everything through the door, then she drops the act, classified or not, he needs to know. This is the demonic religion, the cult behind the monster mutations, fanatics who sacrifice the living, and they've only gotten more active lately. Only Red Rose is working with the government on this, Yeonju explains. Every other guild just knows the cult exists and stops there. Kang-woo asks why carry it alone. Not for the reward, she admits. The guild members she sent to investigate the demonic religion never came back. Going forward, there's no way she can leave that alone. Kang-woo reads her strength at a glance and likes what he sees, a real rancor, strong enough that part of him wants to fight her right now. But that's not why she called him here. Once Red Rose gets a solid lead on the demonic religion, she wants his help ending them. If he'd rather walk, she won't stop him. So tell me honestly, she says. Can you help us? Yeonju asks flat out. Kang-woo doesn't hesitate. Don't worry, you've already done enough for me. It's the least I owe you. What he doesn't say is the real reason he's thrilled. Every demon Red Rose throws at the demonic religion means more demonic energy for him to devour. Yeonju smiles and adds one more rule: stay out of the B-rank gates. Kang-woo rides toward his target, running the math on his brand new 5th awakening skill. Master of Demons lets him yank a demon straight through a gate depending on that gate's rank, but he only gets one shot every 3 months. His theory: crank the rank, crank the demon. The car pulls up. Showtime. He steps up to the S-rank gate at H-Warring Base Camp, permit confirmed, core locked into position around him. Kang-woo checks his exit stone, his one guaranteed way back if this goes wrong. The switch releases. The gate roars open in violet light. He steps forward. Let's get going. Kang-woo steps through onto a beach under open sky, ocean stretching out in front of him. Nice view, wasted on a place crawling with D-rank monsters. He picks his spot. In his head, he's aiming for the strongest demon this gate can pull, but even a weaker one still answers to him. Let's begin. He triggers Master of Demons. Purple energy detonates around him as the system confirms the activation, then confirms it again. A crack is tearing open to complete the summon, fed by his own demonic energy. The rift deepens, stacking rank on rank of power. Then out of nowhere, a flash of green. Something's off. Turns out every gate he's used has had this same glitch. The Gaia system's block on outside contact malfunctioned, and instead of a straight line to hell, the crack opened a dimensional gate to somewhere called the continent of Eleanor. Kang-woo has no idea what that is and briefly panics. The summon is backfiring, dragging him to hell instead. It didn't. The demon comes through. The system pings. Echidna, rank S, hatchling daughter of the demon dragon Kargath, is now his summoned demon. What answers the call isn't some low-tier grunt. It's a dragon, easily bigger than the building behind him, scales scorched and bloodied. Kang-woo just stares. A dragon. Something's wrong. Echidna isn't just imposing, she's hurt, thrashing and roaring like she's still mid-fight, blood streaking her scales. Her eye locks on Kang-woo like she knows exactly what just happened to her. Meanwhile, across some other battlefield entirely, armored fighters clash in a hail of light and steel. Their words make zero sense to him, and one fighter screams pure profanity at nothing. Kang-woo clocks it. These people didn't come from Korea, they look like refugees from a different world. He triggers power of communication to translate on the fly. Someone yells for everyone to fall back. Someone else yells for a warrior named Reynolds to calm down as he faces a winged demon in gold armor. Kang-woo demands to know who these armored strangers are. Their leader steps up, Reynolds von Arnon, 3rd Prince of the Arnon Empire, asking if he's all right. Studying the rest of the group, Kang-woo freezes. One of them's an elf, another's a dwarf. Did this entire party cross worlds too? Kang-woo swears under his breath. He has no idea what just happened here, but he's not losing a demon he only just summoned. He raises a hand and unleashes power of resurrection, flooding Echidna's torn body with light and knitting her wounds shut. The knight screams at him to stop. Then Echidna stirs, speaking for the first time, "So you are my master." Echidna thanks him quietly. Kang-woo waves it off. He explains the healing was pure instinct, proof enough that she already recognizes him as her master. The knight's shock turns to fury. "You're that demon dragon's master. Why were you trying to save her?" Kang-woo throws the question back. "Why were you trying to kill Echidna?" The answer comes fast. "She's an evil demon dragon." The knight lays out the charge. That dragon caused the drought and plague that killed countless citizens of the Arnon Empire. Kang-woo starts to argue, but Echidna beats him to it, insisting she never did it. Kang-woo backs her up with cold logic. Something with power to wreck a whole region's, whether wouldn't be lying half dead and gasping. The knight isn't hearing any of it. He just screams denial. The knight wants Echidna dead to save his empire's suffering people, and he charges. Kang-woo mutters he hates this type, people who only trust their own justice and go deaf to anyone who disagrees. He lights a fireball in his palm and answers with something new, power of explosion, a blast that meets the charge head-on. Kang-woo half concedes the point. Maybe Echidna really did cause that drought to gut the Arnon Empire. But so what? Whatever she's done, she's his familiar now, and he has zero intention of giving her up the same day he summoned her. The knight recoils, calling him a wicked demonic bastard. Kang-woo just shrugs. He actually is a real demon man. I knew it, the knight screams back. Reynolds von Arnon vows to defeat Kang-woo no matter what, for the crying children of his empire and his own people cheer him on, certain he can't lose to a mere demon. Kang-woo, unimpressed, is already planning the free ale he'll shake out of this kid later, wondering if this whole group ate something rotten. Echidna warns him to be careful. Reynolds swings his glowing blade down. Kang-woo grunts under the impact. This isn't something he can just shrug off barehanded, and he's glad he had his equipment on. He decides to take the fight elsewhere, trading blows with Reynolds' group as they chase him down. Then he answers back with his own power of explosion, a blast that sends the whole group flying. Kang-woo answers first, power of explosion tearing the field apart, tagged an adaptation skill, meaning the blast scales with however much demonic energy he's burning right now. The knights fire back with heat wave downpour, a wall of flame rolling in. Kang-woo doesn't dodge. He slams up power of the iron wall and eats the hit standing. Someone screams inside that fire, and for a second even the people watching freeze. Then steel connects, a knight drops with a strangled cry, and a name goes up, hands. Kang-woo tenses at the sound of it. Off to the side, someone small shrieks in pure terror, caught in the middle of it all. Something pale and winged drops out of the sky as the wind itself seems to gust wrong. Reynolds names his family style out loud, Arnon swordsmanship, blade storm, and lets a storm of blades fly. Kang-woo doesn't bother dodging this one either. Power of the iron wall goes up again, and it holds. The clash keeps grinding, and Kang-woo can't help but think it. This guy keeps yelling his skill names out loud mid-fight, not that he's complaining, free intel is free intel. Then an ally screams for Reynolds to move now, and he does, gathering everything he's got for one more swing. Reynolds gets a hand on Echidna in the scramble, wrenching the little dragon out of the air. Kang-woo has to admit it quietly. This guy's genuinely dangerous, and if his own awakening hadn't kicked in, that would have actually hurt. Reynolds laughs right in his face. You see this? You're the evil one here. You're too honest, Kang-woo tells him, and means it. Reynolds roars, blades slash and cuts down clean, except the hit doesn't land the way it should, and Reynolds himself staggers back coughing. His own people don't even understand it. You said blades slash, what does that mean? Kang-woo just grins, eyes gone demon red. You're just dumb. Reynolds orders his knights to fall back, and they refuse outright. They won't leave their lord behind to die. He shuts them down anyway. I'm fine, just go. I'm leaving the Arnon Empire in your hands. Then he turns and charges Kang-woo again, spitting out that he's terrifying before someone screams for him to finish it. Kang-woo, this is just what every fight in hell looked like. No sympathy, no mercy, not even anger, just killing to see the next day, because down there feeling anything was a luxury he couldn't afford. Back in the present, his fist closes around someone, and a woman screams for him to wait, please. A woman named Raina drops to her knees below Kang-woo, begging him to kill her instead of Reynolds. She confesses in front of everyone that Reynolds is the man she loves. She offers her own life, anything if he'll just spare him. Kang-woo hears every word, then shrugs it off. Yeah, nope, her love, her sacrifice, none of it moves him at all. Kang-woo cuts them down with logic. If you pick up a weapon to kill, you'd better be ready to die for it. No discount for good intentions. The other women reel, calling him nasty for beating someone already outmatched. He just shrugs. Then the system pings. The Gaia system, Earth's own dimensional defense, confirms something besides his familiar crossed through the gate with him. Kang-woo panics. If the Gaia system is purging foreign intruders, does his hard-won loot go with them? He almost curses out loud, then catches himself. These knights are from another world, killing them, keeping their gear. None of that lands on him back on Earth. Relief hits different when he realizes his real fear. Whether Echidna counts as an intruder too, she's still there. He exhales. Kang-woo works the mechanic out loud. Earth's Gaia system exists to block random invasions between worlds, but it's been glitching for 2 or 3 weeks now. He realizes that's exactly when he fell into hell and crossed back. His own arrival broke something in Earth's defenses. Echidna's voice cuts through the thought. Did those bastards retreat? Yeah, he says. Echidna in her wolf-sized demon form thanks Kang-woo for patching her up. He asks if she can control her size. She shrinks down to show him. Then she lays out the continent of Aliner, a whole world past the Arnon Empire full of swords, magic, elves, dragons. Kang-woo puts it together fast, the monster tremors hitting Earth probably trace back there. Echidna asks where they're actually headed. They drive off together, Kang-woo behind the wheel, Echidna shrunk down beside him. It's not his home, he tells her, more a place he crashes, but she can call it her nest now. She opens up, growing up alone with her father, days spent with nothing but books in the lair. Then one day Reynolds came crashing in, blaming her for a plague she swears she never caused. Echidna trembles, remembering how she swore the truth and no one believed her. Kang-woo goes quiet, then tells her he knows that feeling exactly. He grew up in an orphanage, never even hoping to meet parents who might love him, just wanting to be cared for, to have his existence count for something. Even if the whole world condemns you, he tells her, I'll believe you. Echidna says his name once, quiet, Kang-woo. She tells him she'll never forget it. Then the scene cuts hard to hand Ciala, who spots the tiny demon dragon and loses her mind, scooping her into a crushing hug and squealing over how cute she is. Ciala jokes that no matter how strong Echidna is, she can't do a thing about it. Some poison is just too cute to resist. Kang-woo and Han Ciala sit over tea as the new year turns. Her party members are leveling fast now, thanks to the connections he lined up for them. She jokes that without him she wouldn't even have this life, calling it love. He plays along, joking about jealousy over sleeping next to Echidna. Two people who used to be strangers are settling into something almost normal. Kang-woo wakes up strangely exhausted and drags himself into the kitchen where Ciala's already cooking. She notices he slept in later than usual and he shrugs it off as nothing. Then someone at the table gushes over the cereal, and it isn't who he expects, it's Echidna, but she doesn't look like a dragon hatchling anymore. Kang-woo stares. Echidna doesn't look like herself anymore. He asks if she can actually change her appearance and she isn't sure. It just happened overnight, some strange feeling while she slept and she woke up like this. He jokes it might be from spending too much time around him, but underneath it he's actually worried. If she's stuck human now, that's a real problem. Echidna's confident. Watch this, she says, standing up right at the table to prove she can turn back. Wrong move. Power floods out of her all at once, wings of light tearing open around her small frame. Kang-woo barely gets out, don't stand up, before the blast goes off, ice shattering through the walls as he screams for her to stop. Whatever this new form is, she can't control it yet. Some time later, the three of them ride into the city together, Echidna now passing as an ordinary kid. Kang-woo warns her not to transform again at home, and she agrees, still getting used to living as a human. Ciala decides the first order of business is clothes, since nothing Echidna owns actually fits her anymore. Ciala heads off to the department store with Echidna, half teasing Kang-woo about tagging along like it's a date. He begs off, he's got somewhere to be alone today. The scene cuts to a red gate under open sky, where Kang-woo lays out the real problem to a contact, a summoned dragon now wearing a human face, and asks her to get Echidna a legal ID. His contact isn't buying the calm act. She grills him about the Gaia system and he plays dumb. When she pulls up the photo of an actual dragon curled up as his familiar, she can't believe what she's looking at. Just who are you exactly? She agrees to sort the ID anyway. Then Kang-woo pushes his luck and asks for something bigger too, an S rank. Before she can answer, someone knocks. The door opens on Baek Kang-hyun, the Hanul Guild's ace, and the room goes still. He's here for guild business, but stops cold at the stranger already sitting across the desk. Introduced as Kang-woo, he's recognized instantly. You're the one from the C-rank gate, the one the rumors keep spreading about. Whatever those rumors promised, it wasn't someone this polite, and the room breaks out laughing. Kang-woo sits across from his contact, business already half finished. He gets straight to it. Can she get him an official S-rank entrance pass? She freezes. Why is he really planning to hunt an S-rank gate? He admits it's risky solo but doable with his familiar. She asks if he even knows what's waiting at the Suwon gate. He just says of course. She lays it out, wyverns, mountain giants, giant ogres, and the El Kuro, all guarding the Suwon S-rank gate. Stay clear of the lab no matter what, she warns. Kang-woo waves it off, he already knows. Then a voice cuts in, stunned. An S-rank gate, Baek Kang-hyun, the Hanul Guild's ace, has been listening the whole time, and he remembers exactly who cleared that C-rank gate weeks back. The contact steps in to vouch for him, tells Kang-hyun he can trust this one's ability. Kang-hyun sizes him up, still turning it over. Hunting for a fake identity doesn't square with chasing a gate even national rankers avoid. He decides he doesn't care who Kang-woo really is. Business settled, the contact confirms he can hunt the S-rank gate starting tomorrow and warns him it's genuinely dangerous. Cut to Cha Yeonju, the Red Rose ace, getting an update on her hunt for the demonic religion. Her undercover operative inside the cult has finally made contact and promises a video clip of hard evidence at the handoff. It's taken days just to get this far. She asks where the meeting point is. Tomorrow, Suwon Hwaseo Station. Word reaches the contact and it clicks. Suwon Hwaseo Station. Wait, isn't that right next to the S-rank gate Kang-woo wants to hunt? Two threads that were never supposed to cross are about to land in the same place the same day. Somewhere beyond it, an otherworldly coastline sits sealed inside the gate, waiting. Back home, Echidna twirls to show off new clothes from her shopping trip with Han Seala, the player Kang-woo saved. Kang-woo tells her she looks great. Seala beams too. He decides he'll take Echidna hunting himself. She still needs real battle experience, and he wants to build it up personally. Seala's got her own hunt lined up today and tells him to be careful. A fellow hunter asks Seala to join their party for the day, and she agrees, glad for the experience. Kang-woo, still thinking Echidna needs to grow before she's ready for real fights, heads out with a wave, promising he'll be back. The story cuts straight to the Suwon S-rank gate, ready to open. Kang-woo lays down the last rule before they move. Once the monsters are cleared, Echidna reverts to her human disguise, no exceptions, they can't afford the attention. She agrees, his hand shifts, dark power flooding out as he scans the gate for its strongest threats. Found one, a giant ogre. He reins himself in, no need to go further than that. Kang-woo and the giant ogre trade blows in a blur inside the gate. Get ready, he tells Echidna, the baby demon dragon he's training. She chirps back an eager okay. He channels Baphomet, the demon he swallowed in hell, and power of thousand fires. A blur of strikes crashing into the ogre as it rears up, fangs bared, and dives back down at him. The ogre shrugs off the flurry and slams Kang-woo down, blood on his face. I guess it really is S-rank, huh, he mutters. It isn't even bruised after eating his full power of thousand combo. The beast looms over him, fangs bared for the finish, but Kang-woo isn't done yet. It's not like I can't take it on, Kang-woo growls, shaking off the pain. He answers with power of the dark spear, a blue energy lance that punches straight through the ogre's skull. Blood sprays and the beast staggers back, hurt for the first time since the fight started. With the ogre reeling, it's Echidna's turn. Fangs bared, she screams out Dark Storm, unleashing her own power in real combat for the first time. Kang-woo follows through with a full charge, blue energy tearing into the staggered ogre in one last combined assault. Nice, Echidna, Kang-woo shouts as her lightning tears through the ogre, bolts crackling over its whole body. It roars once and drops. The system confirms it. The S-rank giant ogre is down. His experience ticks up, he levels up by one, and Kang-woo lets out a tired breath. Parties usually need level 46 just to touch this gate, Kang-woo notes, the EXP payout matching the difficulty. Echidna beams, asking if she helped. He tells her she nailed the ogre's core. She's already stronger than her original form, he realizes as she chatters about hunting a devil next. Then his smile drops, something's coming. We got their attention with that fight, Kang-woo mutters, telling Echidna to hold on tight. With a swarm of monsters bearing down, he decides to run instead of fight, the pack fast enough that even his power of speed won't shake them. He snaps out Power of Sky instead, wings of violet energy lifting them both into the air. They're fast, Kang-woo admits, deflecting a claw swipe with a flick of violet energy, but losing them won't be a problem. Then Echidna gasps, her dress got torn in the chaos. Before he can react, she lights up, insisting he just complimented her outfit. His confusion barely registers before a monster's fanged face fills the sky behind them. A golden wyvern dives in fangs first, roaring, but Echidna meets it head-on in her full beast form, wings spread, eyes blazing, and rips a spinning drill of dark energy straight through it. Blood sprays. A second wyvern peels off to keep fighting, but the first one's already finished. The blast clears and the wyvern drops for good. Echidna descends trailing pink lightning, untouched. The system pings twice. Your familiar has defeated an S-rank wyvern. Down below, Kang-woo stares up at her, stunned, only getting out one word before he trails off. She's. Nearby, Terrapin's face goes pale. Could she be? The system pings again, confirming the kill. Echidna's full demonic form fills the sky above the tree-line, pink energy trailing off her wings, while Kang-woo runs beneath her, watching his own familiar and wondering for the first time if she's actually stronger than him. Echidna wakes in Kang-woo's arms, completely drained, still inside the gate. He checks on her. She says she has no strength left in her body. He figures she burned through too much power and blacked out the instant she teleported back. Then she notices her dress got torn again mid-fight, and he just laughs, promising to buy her another one. Echidna admits she lost control out there and begs him not to abandon her over it. Kang-woo tells her he won't. This was just her first real battle at his side. He comforts her but privately flags the real issue. Losing her rationality mid-fight is dangerous, even though this time it worked out. His level ticks up 41 to 42. Here's the mechanic. Echidna grows stronger every time she absorbs demonic energy, and that same energy is what let her shift into human form and hit harder than ever as his familiar. More energy and means more power and more energy she can spend, though it clearly costs her body something real. Then a distant roar stops him cold. More giant ogres, maybe two of them, still out there. Two giant ogres, no Echidna to back him up this time. He almost calls it a day, then a bloody grin spreads across his face instead. Workout time. He charges the pair head-on, aura flaring around his fist, ready to burn off whatever he's got left. Elsewhere, two hunters catch up mid-argument. One recognizes a pair of familiar faces and needles them for looking wrecked, insisting they obviously got help through their last fight. The loud one turns out to be the guild master of Korea's top tank specialist guild, ribbing his rattled friend like an old pro welcoming a rookie. Pardon, the other manages, still catching his breath. Back outside the gate, the party thanks Kang-woo for saving them from the ogres, insisting he's clearly not the villain rumors made him out to be. He waves it off, done needing anyone's help. As they part, he glances down at Echidna, still slumped and drained in his arms, and murmurs her name. Outside the gate proper now, Kang-woo carries Echidna and decides they need new clothes since her dress is shredded beyond saving. He checks his phone for the nearest department store, plotting a route before dark. Then Echidna stirs against him and murmurs his name, catching a scent drifting from somewhere close by. A title card cuts in, The Hunt of Great Andras. An infiltrator narrates over the dark, disguised as a believer. He's inside the cult now, and what he's seeing is crueler than anyone warned him. He manages to film a clip of their darkest secret, but jamming kills every way to send it out. He risks contacting headquarters anyway. Security closes in exactly like he feared. He's caught. Beaten and bloody, the infiltrator throws desperate punches at his captors, refusing to let this be the end. He can't die here, not with this memory card still on him, not before it reaches headquarters. A blow drops him to the floor gasping, his body giving out, but he forces his hand to crawl forward anyway. One more step, just one more. He drags himself toward the gate, toward the H-Warren Corps waiting somewhere beyond it. Cut to Ciala, waving Kang-woo over across the way. Kang-woo turns, distracted, when the dying man's voice cuts through. Please, please. He looks down and freezes at what's shoved into his hand, a memory card. Kang-woo, Ciala, and Echidna crowd around the collapsed stranger, stunned silent by the blood and the plea in his eyes. Someone finally calls out, "Hey, hello," but he barely responds. In the quiet that follows, the same question hangs over all three of them. Just what is actually on this memory card? A status readout tags him by name, Terrapin. Kang-woo turns Terrapin's hand over, trying to piece together what just happened to him. A status window flares up, confirming the profile is legitimate, real rank, real class, a genuinely skilled player, no fake. Since this gate only takes level 40 and up, there's no way Terrapin walked in here on his own. Whatever's on that card is the only lead they've got. Let's take a look. The card holds one file, a single video clip, nothing else. The second it plays, Terrapin's eye locks wide with pure terror at just the memory of it. Kang-woo's whole posture goes rigid. This is. Ciala and Echidna echo the same stunned words beside him. Then the footage shows something dark and red pouring out, and Kang-woo can't hold back a disgusted, "What the hell?" Kang-woo stares at his phone, replaying the footage that just wrecked his morning. Before it fully sinks in, hooded fanatics in devil masks close in, guns leveled at him and Echidna, his demon familiar. One barks at him to calm down. Kang-woo's eyes ignite red, fury boiling under the surface. The masked cultists ring them in, sneering that Kang-woo ended up watching that. More draw blades, declaring they can't let him live. Echidna, confused, half jokes about what they think they saw. Kang-woo doesn't know their deal, but it's obvious. They want that footage gone, and everyone who saw it buried with it. Kang-woo draws a line. No matter what happens, he's protecting Echidna, and he flatly refuses to hand the footage over. The masked leader sneers that he's finally dropping the act and orders his men to kill him. Blades converge from every side, but Kang-woo throws up the power of the iron wall and stops the first strike cold. Kang-woo answers with a blast that sends a knot of cultists flying. Panicked subordinates beg their cardinal not to go further, warning that unleashing everyone's full power will kill the whole squad in the blowback. Their leader doesn't care. Calling Kang-woo a monster from nowhere, he orders every last one of them to cut loose. Echidna flinches back. Kang-woo, what is that? Black energy rolls off him now, and the cultists go pale, realizing it's demonic energy, the same power they've used to turn their own men into monsters. Echidna offers to jump in, but Kang-woo waves her off. He's the right man for scum like this. A cultist finishes transforming into a hulking winged demon and dives straight at Kang-woo, who blocks but takes a shot to the gut, coughing up blood. He shrugs it off, calling them dressed-up simpletons running on borrowed power, and decides it's time to actually hit back. Kang-woo turns the fight around, cutting down one of the transformed demons midair and blasting a masked attacker point blank. This time it's their blood flying, not his. The momentum flips, and the cultists who came to silence him are the ones getting silenced. Another winged demon comes in and Kang-woo puts it down cold. Two masked cultists stagger back, wounded and screaming, their confidence gone. Both sides brace for one more exchange, and Kang-woo, blood on his face, isn't slowing down. Kang-woo tears through the transformed cultists with Terra Blade, the blade snapping out in short, violent arcs. Blood sprays with every hit, and the last of the Cardinal's men crumple where they stand. The scene cuts to a quiet street after, Kang-woo and his group standing over the wreckage. All he offers is a flat HM. Kang-woo checks his phone against the street, tracking the signal back to wherever the footage actually came from. He finds the spot and finds Cha Yeonju already standing there. Both freeze. "What the hell, man, what are you doing here?" he demands. She brushes it off as nothing, but the coincidence hangs in the air. Terrapin rushes up asking if Kang-woo has seen a memory card with a video clip on it. Kang-woo pulls it out, this one. Yeonju grabs for it, insisting she needs to use it immediately. Terrapin turns bright red, completely misreading the line, sputtering that she is going to use it right now. The group crowds around to watch the footage together, Terrapin still flustered over his own dirty mind before Yeonju drags him back on track. The mood snaps serious fast when someone asks for status update on the informant who leaked it. The answer, he's dead. Yeonju turns to Kang-woo and asks him straight up what happened here. Kang-woo shrugs it off. He honestly doesn't know what happened, he says. Yeonju chalks his involvement up to coincidence and moves on. Since he's here anyway, he might as well watch the recording with them. The screen lights up and the whole group recoils in shock. What the hell is this? It's not the evidence anyone expected. The recovered file is a fake, stuffed with decoy content while the real footage sits encrypted back at headquarters. It clicks fast. The cult used it to cover their tracks while the actual funds and recordings moved elsewhere. Someone rounds on Kang-woo for having watched it earlier without saying a word, and Yeonju steps in to shut the accusations down. With the fake ruled out, the group heads straight for Hwarang Corps headquarters, the only place with a decryptor that can pull the real content. Inside, a full formation stands at attention for a briefing, the captain reporting in, honoring an agent who died in the line of duty and vowing the sacrifice won't be wasted. Understood, the unit salutes and breaks. Headquarters confirms it. Real intel was decoded from the fake video and decryption starts immediately. Yeonju asks to speak with General Chang Hyoni, the highest authority in Hwarang First Corps and Baek Kanghyun's superior, but she's overseas on an S-rank gate mission out of reach. Yeonju exhales. If the general had been here, maybe the agent could have been saved. She orders the room to move fast instead. In the cult's inner sanctum, the cardinal presses a masked subordinate on how close preparations for the coming ritual really are, warning him not to mistake one success for the whole plan. Mid-sentence, the cardinal stops cold. Something's wrong. There's a rat in his own ranks. Back at Hwarang headquarters, Kang-woo's group pores over the decrypted footage, tracing the Crimson Death mask on screen back to the demonic religion and counting off other suspicious factions circling it, plus a mention of an unknown guild. The clip flares into a violent burst of dark energy, and Kang-woo alone seems to actually understand what it shows. The team lays out rival guild sigils like cards, trying to work out who's secretly funding the demonic religion. They agree they can't move on the cult directly without drawing government heat. Kang-woo cuts through it. There's a way in he can use. Keep talking, he says. He's listening. The plan takes shape. Leak a rumor about a hunter suddenly clearing gates above his rank, bait tuned to the cult's hunger for a strong sacrifice. Someone doubts the cautious cardinal will bite. Kang-woo insists he can't resist a lure like that, no matter how careful he plays it. Yeonju draws a line. She won't throw her own Red Rose members into a sacrifice trap. Kang-woo counters that the bait needs real combat power behind it to be convincing. A name comes up. The scene cuts to a lone figure walking at night, and Terrapin's status card locks him in as the decoy. Terrapin goes through an ordinary day, grumbling about a rival hunter's antics and grabbing food between gate runs, acting like none of this concerns him. But the rumor about him is already spreading through the underground faster than anyone expected. The bait is working exactly as planned. Elsewhere, Park Hyun-woo, Red Rose's HR lead, tails Kang-woo and reports back that nothing looks suspicious yet, though Yeonju keeps the watch running anyway. Kang-woo clocks that he's being followed and decides it's time to move. The scene lands him at the Mokdong C-rank gate. A crowd of hunters gathers outside the Mokdong gate as Kang-woo trades a quiet hello with a fellow player. Nearby, Terrapin's worried party admits he's gone unreachable and hasn't come home in over a week, waving it off as nothing unusual, even as the unease on their faces says otherwise. Echidna, the winged demon hatchling, sits bored back home. Elsewhere, two of Kang-woo's trainees rib each other about their leader supposedly distracted by a beauty at home, until a teammate snaps that's enough. Chastened, the group agrees, train harder, level up, and earn a real spot in his crew. Kang-woo's crew gears up at a shimmering blue gate, hyped to hunt. Inside, he coolly sizes up a fellow hunter's face, unimpressed but approving. His mind drifts to Ciala, a week now since he's seen her, guilt creeping in as he pictures her curled up with Echidna while he skips meals and sleep for this mission. A towering chief troll slams down on the party, the blow shaking the ground as one of Kang-woo's trainees braces beneath it. A blue bolt lances into the troll's hide, but the monster shrugs it off, grinning that it barely stung, then roars back with something heavier. Someone shouts for Sehun, and Kim Sehun answers with a surging blue blade strike that detonates against the troll. The monster's jaw cracks open in a scream, its body convulsing as it roars in fury and pain, until a lightning spear drives clean through it to end the fight. The dust settles and the troll drops for good. The party lets out a relieved breath, celebrating the kill, though one teammate scolds Kang Tisu for getting cocky about it. Someone laughs it off. The monster's finished and the exp and loot are already banked. Clear of the gate, the group marvels at how far they've come, hunting monsters that would have flattened them a month ago, all thanks to Kang-woo. Sunbi gets praised for her spell work, another teammate blushes at being compared to a Shaonin hero, and the crew presses on, tighter and sharper than ever. Kang-woo watches from the ridge as his trainees settle into clean roles, covering each other so well he barely needs to step in anymore. Alone with his thoughts, he knows the real hunt is still ahead. A hungry voice inside him needles about the tempting sacrifice he's left untouched a whole week already. He shakes it off. Somewhere else, someone stews over the cult's timeline, certain the move is close when the moment goes cold. Two cloaked figures with glowing red eyes step out of the dark, strong enough to kill a low-rank hunter outright and clearly mid-summoning. Terrapin's blood runs cold. The demonic religion has taken the bait. The gate's boss troll is down and Tisu's crew finally gets a breather. Tisu can't believe how sharp everyone's gotten. Sehun waves off the praise, still shaking off nerves. Kang-woo tells Sunbi to take it easier, she's supposed to be B-rank. Then Ciala spots one more troll closing in from behind. The party locks into formation and she puts it down solo before it gets close. Off to the side, a sunglasses-wearing man greets Young-hoon like an old acquaintance, while a chained, tattooed woman stands silent at his side. Watching from a distance, Sunbi asks if Sehun knows him. Sehun stiffens, that's the Vice Guild master of the Mir Guild. Kang-woo recognizes the name too, Kim Young-hoon, heir to one of Korea's richest fortunes, propped up by his father's money. Young-hoon sneers, asking why they're even out here hunting gates like this is beneath him. His man mocks Sehun, calling him brother with a smirk. Kang-woo explodes, demanding who dares call Sehun that. Young-hoon just laughs it off, not ordinary brothers, he says, not when Sehun's blood is cheap. Ciala's hand flies for her weapon. Kang-woo snarls it straight back at him, fucking son of a bitch. Kang-woo bites back the urge to swing first. Young-hoon needles him instead, bringing up a rumor. Word is Kang-woo's hiding a special ability that's easily A-rank, way past what a nobody trainer should have. Kang-woo asks flatly what he means. The rest of the group goes quiet, someone muttering under their breath, wondering out loud if this guy and his crew might actually be KAO. Young-hoon adds almost casually that the chained woman won't be wasted as an offering. Kang-woo's had enough and roars you fucking trash before slamming an attack in. It connects, but somehow Young-hoon counters instantly and Sehun goes down in the exchange. Sunbi screams his name. Onlookers can't believe he countered a hit that close. The bodyguard tells Kang-woo to stay back and switches on Young-hoon's absolute defensive mode. The fight turns into a full clash, energy grinding against energy. Young-hoon cackles, taunting Kang-woo for losing his nerve, calling out that he's tucking his tail now. He dares him to attack again, laughing through another exchange of blue-white strikes. Kang-woo grits through it, sword raised overhead, and comes down with everything he's got. The strike shatters against Young-hoon's guard and Kang-woo staggers back through gritted teeth. The group shouts for Se-hoon again, panicked, but Se-hoon stays composed, muttering "I see through the pain." He's caught something. That piercing technique that dropped him wasn't some flunkey's work. It was Kim Young-hoon's own move. That counter isn't him, a voice lays out the truth. Young-hoon's father built him a custom rig, sensors reading an opponent's movement to auto-defend his body. It's not skill, it's gear doing the fighting for him. Kang-woo calls him out and drives a final slash straight through it. Young-hoon hits the dirt, stunned, insisting his sensor should never have failed. Kang Tae-soo plants himself in front of his friend, swearing he won't let anyone touch Se-hoon again. Kang-woo lunges at Kim Young-hoon in raw fury, but his strike finds nothing, no impact, no response. The crowd panics. Young-hoon's absolute defensive mode flares to life, and he sneers that Kang-woo's blade is too flimsy to matter. Young-hoon boasts that even without interference he'd have finished off Se-hoon eventually, and something in Kang-woo snaps. Blue light erupts around him as he draws on borrowed power, Ciala watching wide-eyed. He calls up Advent of the 9 Dragons, a colossal sword technique gathering into one overwhelming strike. Advent of the 9 Dragons crashes down, a massive dragon of blue force diving straight at Young-hoon. He barely gets out a curse before it slams into him. He doubles over gasping as the impact tears through his guard, and a second shockwave rips loose right after, leaving him staggered and stunned. Both fighters stand gasping as the dust settles, Ciala watching from a distance. Kang-woo grins, telling Young-hoon he'd forgotten what kind of bastard he really is. Young-hoon reboots his defense and spits back a taunt calling Kang-woo's blood taboo. Kang-woo growls that Young-hoon's never lacked for anything, and flickers of Young-hoon's own past surface, a stutter, brutal training, a family that scarred more than it helped. Kang-woo presses on, saying it doesn't matter how much power or money Young-hoon throws at buying people. His blade drives home again as the suit flashes replication complete, desperately trying to copy his technique. Kang-woo laughs at the gutsy little talent underneath the tech, unleashes Advent of the 9 Dragons again, roaring that he'll always trample him, and cackles that Young-hoon's about to die from his own borrowed skill. The strike lands, Young-hoon reeling, as across the battlefield Ciala and Sunbi cry out for Se-hoon, still down. Another voice crows over him that this is his limit, the difference between them impossible to close. Ciala rushes to his side, already calling up her healing light to pull him back up. A lightning spear rips through the air as someone shouts Kim Se-hoon's name in alarm. His opponent taunts that no matter how hard he struggles, some gaps can't be closed. Battered and out of strength, Se-hoon grits through one last holy strike, thinking of the vow he made to avenge his mother, bitter that he can barely protect the people in front of him, let alone get revenge. Alone with his thoughts, Se-hoon admits it plainly. He's too weak because he has no real power. The memory pulls him back to a hooded figure in the wasteland, talking through an old plan with the people who mattered, telling him it's time to move. Snapped back to the present, he repeats it like a vow. He desires strength. Kim Se-hoon forces himself back to his feet after Kim Young-hoon's last hit, gripping his sword with one thought: protect his friends. A system ping flags a fragment of the power of the heavenly god unlocking, the advanced hidden dragon sword technique plus new footwork called Cloud Dragon Walk. Somewhere close, Kang-woo just laughs, main character energy, right on schedule. Cut back to the real fight. Kang-woo drives his blade down with a roar of Kim Young-hoon's name, and steel finds flesh clean through the absolute defensive mode that was supposed to stop this. Young-hoon reels, coughing blood, his own instinct shield doing nothing. The math just changed, and he knows it. Young-hoon spits out a defiant laugh, refusing to believe it, but Kang-woo doesn't stop. Chapter after chapter of the hidden dragon sword technique unloads into the advent of the 9 dragons, into the Cloud Dragon sword technique's finishing flourish. Each strike lands clean. Young-hoon can only stare, stammering the same word: impossible. Young-hoon insists it out loud: strength, speed, he's supposed to have the edge on paper. So why is he losing ground? He tries to bail, putting distance between them and slamming his defenses back online. Too late. Kang-woo is already through, and the blow connects before the shield even finishes forming. Hard cut elsewhere, Terrapin gets cornered by a bald, sunglassed Vice Guild master demanding to know what he's been up to this time. Terrapin apologizes on the spot. The older hunter isn't done though. needling him that he'll never surpass a Vice Guild master, and dangling something else if Terrapin just falls in line.